What's up? What's up with it? Yeah, y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Y'all already know what to do. When you come in the building, hit that like button and then punch on, jump in the comments and let me know you in the building. Yeah. We got my man Daryl DeLoach in the building. What's happening with it, Daryl? Big John Kramer in the building. What's happening with it? My man Brandon House in the building. OTB Boxing School. School is now in session. What's happening with it? Cali Fire off in the building. Francisco Gonzalez in the building. Young Billy, what's happening with it? I see you out there putting in that work, Young Billy. Yeah, young billionaire. You putting in that work, man. Nice work you doing, man. Keep up the good work. The Queen Sheena is in the building. What's happening with it? Yeah. And like I said, y'all hit that like button as you come in the building. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot going on. Have some good fights this weekend, especially on Friday. They had some good UK fights on Saturday. So we had, man, we had a hell of a weekend, hell of a weekend in fights. And everybody got something to say about the Shakur Stevenson fight. Whether good or bad, everybody got an opinion on Shakur Stevenson. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, the news that my brother Blue Blood had broke to us, about the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence situation. And like I said, it's a lot to talk about. Charles Granger, what's happening with it? Hoop session in the building. So we got a lot to cook on, Ponce Jones, what's happening with it? Ponce Jones. So like I said, hit the like button as you come in the building. And we got a lot of cooking to do today. Definitely. I already told y'all, man, whether you like Shakur or you don't like him, that's the type of attitude that you want to see in the fighter. And yeah, I'm going to get to all of that. He missed weight and all of that stuff. But the attitude that he have, I'm talking about wanting all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Wanting all the smoke with everybody, whether it's at 130, when he was at 126, he showed y'all that he wanted all the smoke. When he was at 130, he showed y'all he wanted all the smoke. And at 135, he gonna show y'all the same thing. And we can talk about him missing weight. Because I know that was a big issue with a lot of people that he came in, he missed weight. A lot of people was talking about that he was undisciplined and he was this and that. But, hey, I got my opinion on it, and just like everybody else do. And we're going to cook on that. So like I said, hit the like button. Yes, sir. So, on Friday, Shakur missed weight. Yeah, he missed weight. I've been knowing for a long time that it was hard for him to make 130 pounds. I mean, you look at him and you're looking like, how do you make 130 pounds? You got Robson Conceição. I don't know how he make 130 pounds either, but they got two different body types. Shakur Stevenson is, he got he's wide, he's thick. He don't have the same body frame that he had when he was young coming in the game. He's grown a lot. I've spoke to Shakur Stevenson on several different occasions. And from the time that I first met Shakur Stevenson to now, he got a whole different body structure. Shakur is not small. His legs is big. He got pretty big calves. He's wide up top. He's big. He big. So it's not a surprise to me that he struggles to make 130. Like I said, I couldn't even see how he made 130 pounds these past couple fights to begin with, but he did it. Now, you would say, hey, having to fight in your hometown, a lot of fighters will tell you when you fight in your hometown, it's a lot of extra shit going on, right? It's a lot of extra temptations going on. You're fighting in your hometown, right? Plus, you probably got a million people calling your phone, wanting you to come pull up on them. Million people calling you for tickets, and he gave out over 100 tickets to the kids. But imagine how many people that wanted tickets that he couldn't give tickets to. And I'm not making no excuse, because you still have a responsibility to make the weight. In the fans corner, I see you, Snacks B in the building. I see you, A Sneed, Dominique, Kawhi, Elliott. What's happening with it? So, like I said, you still have a responsibility to make weight. But when it came down to it, he had a decision to make. Should I kill myself to make weight, go ahead and knock off this 1.6 pounds, this 1.5 pounds, and make weight, right? And then go in the fight fucked up, you know what I'm saying, and may lose. Because you go in the fight, and you exhausted, you don't know what you might do to your body. And Robson Conceição is not an opponent to play with. He's a gold medalist. Robson Conceição can fight. He big himself. What is he, 5'10", almost 5'11"? So he's really not an opponent to play with. So, Shakur Stevenson, yeah, he didn't make weight. Yeah, I'm not getting on him as heavy as a lot of people have, just because of the simple fact is that his whole career, he's always made weight. He's never had an issue making weight. Although I've been knowing that it was hard for him to make 130 pounds, he never missed weight before. So this is not something that he has a history of doing. Now if he come back at 135 and miss weight, then we got a problem, right? We have a problem because now you got a history of missing weight, but he don't have a history of doing that. He always been professional when it comes to making weight his whole career. And so yeah, he made a mistake at one point. This one time. You feel me? I know he gonna fix it. He moving up to 135. And yeah, that's just what it is. It is what it is, a lot of people say, I heard some people say, oh man, when Tank Davis missed weight and people was getting on his helmet. Well, when Tank first missed weight, you got to understand, when Tank missed weight, I didn't get on his helmet when he first missed weight. It was like, okay, well, he missed weight. You feel me? But when Tank first missed weight, it was on a huge pay-per-view card. Mayweather put him on the undercard as I believe it was the co-main event to the Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight. That's one of the highest grossing boxing events in history. And people looked at that, it's like, okay, Mayweather is finally putting you on a big stage. He's giving you a favor. You know what I'm saying? You got to take this and you got to run with it. This is a huge opportunity to fight on the undercard and be the co-main event to Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. And then he missed weight. And it was very publicized because the event was so big. And a lot of people was talking shit about Tank missing weight because the thing is Tank had showed he had showed a lot of signs of not being disciplined at that point in his career outside of the ring. He had showed that he was blowing up in weight outside of fights, walking around. He did an interview, said that he don't even really go to the gym unless he got a fight coming up. So he had a lot of signs of showing that he wasn't disciplined leading up to that fight. And then he came and he missed weight and people got on his head about this shit. Like I said, I didn't, because that was his first time. Whether he was undisciplined at that point in time outside of the ring or not, that was his first time. And then, he came back and he later on, he moved up in weight. Remember, he moved up to fight Gamboa. Now, this is when people really got on his helmet, because he moved up to a whole another weight division that he hadn't fought at before, 5 pounds heavier, and he almost missed weight. Like, people forgot what happened. They delayed the whole weigh-ins for the Gamboa fight. They delayed it like 2.5 hours because he was trying to make weight. And he came and he didn't make weight. And then he made weight on the second attempt. You know, I don't know how long it took, so don't let me get to making up shit. He came and he made weight on the second attempt, and people looked at that as like, okay, well, Tank got a history of having problems making the weight. So I think that's when people really start getting on Tank, because he showed a history of being undisciplined in a history of having a problem making the weight. You know, people felt like that, hey, man, you moving up to a whole nother weight division, it ain't no reason you should have a problem making the weight, and you moving up a whole weight division. You moved up 5 pounds. There's no reason that they should have to delay the weigh-in over 2 hours for you to make the weight. So I think that was the difference between, you know, Tank, but he did go and make the weight, like I said, against Gamboa, because you fighting at a whole different weight division. You fighting at a heavier weight. Now, Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, this is his first time once again, and then he decided, you know what, I'm not going to even try to make weight. And at that point in time, people felt like, oh, well, he's being unprofessional. He didn't even try to make the weight. Well, like Shakur said, y'all don't know what was going on behind the scenes. I already knew I wasn't going to make the weight. I already had got as low as I could. You know, any other thing, it would have been unhealthy. So why should I go and try to do something, hold it off for 2 more hours and try to do something I've been trying the whole week and I wasn't going to be able to make the weight? He said he had to lose, like 12 or 15 pounds, you know, a couple days before the weigh-in. So, yeah, he was too heavy for the weight, you know. But one thing for Shakur Stevenson, right? You got that one time and you miss weight. People ain't going to forget that shit. He better not ever miss weight again, because if he miss weight again, now people really going to have something to back it up. They going to say, hey, he got a history of missing weight. Remember when he missed weight against Robson Conceição and lost his belt on the scales? But like I said, I think Shakur Stevenson did the smart move. His pockets, he paid the price for it. He had to pay Robson Conceição $150,000 out of his purse. So Shakur Stevenson had a $3 million purse, and he had to give Robson Conceição $150K right off the rip. And he lost his titles. And so losing his titles means that when you're going up to 135, if you go up with those titles, now you got a whole bunch of say-so when you go to 135, right? You go to 135 and you can say, hey, I need to fight for a belt right away. I was the WBC and the WBO or WBA champion at 130. I got seniority coming up to 135. So all these other dudes, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to bump over them. You feel me? So I'm next in line. Y'all got to move out the way. Now he can't do that because he didn't get to move up with the belts. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to move up and then drop the belts on his own moving up. And so that's a difference. Now, you know what I'm saying? He got to take a pay cut also. When you even when you move up with the belts, you still gonna, you know what I'm saying, make more money. People didn't even know Shakur Stevenson was getting paid $3 million. I believe $3 million is the same amount that Devin Haney got paid when he fought Kambosos. I think that was his upfront purse, $3 million. So Shakur, I think this was Shakur's highest payday, $3 million. But he had to give 150 up right off the gate. So you know, he paid the price. He paid the price. He don't take me as a fighter that's unprofessional. Like I said, he don't have a history of it, but he paid the price. So it is what it is. I mean, you can't really keep beating the kid over the head for the shit. He did it. It is what it is, you know. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. And y'all hit the like button as you come in the building. Smash on the like. Dub right side, always on the right side, never on the wrong side. J.A. Dixon in the building. Jay Grant, my man, straight from that Oak Cliff, USA. Smooth Groove Boxing in the building. Yeah, my man, the OG, Flawless Mentality with Dr. Mark Stearns in the building. What's happening with it? The Queen Sheena is in the building. Anthony Johnson. Let me see who else we got. Mark Ambrose, what's happening with it? Well, yeah, he did lose his title, Mark Ambrose, because when you don't make weight, you don't have no choice but to lose your title. You can't not make weight and then say, okay, well, I'm gonna give my title. No, he lost his titles on the scales, but it didn't really matter to him because he was moving up anyway. Like I had already told people, like, hey, I did it live, but earlier last week, and I said Shakur's about to move up to 135. He got a big announcement, and the big announcement is going to be that he's moving up to 135. He ended up having to announce it early because he didn't make weight, so it wasn't really nothing to keep a secret. Kamara in the building. What's going on with the Queen? She says, didn't he have to strip down to make weight against Valdez? I think he busted weight on that fight too. Well, I don't remember if he had to strip down to make weight against Valdez, but if you strip down and you still make the weight, I mean, people really don't pay attention to that because a lot of fighters, they have to take their draws off to make weight because that little, extra 0.5 pounds or whatever, it make a difference. So, but I know he's never missed weight and then have to come back and make it on the second attempt, if that's what you're asking for. He's always made weight on the first attempt. King Grayson, what's happening with it? J.A. Dixon said, Conceição, yeah, Robson made the shit possible too because he had the option not to fight. Gotta respect that. Yeah, but if you don't fight, you don't get a chance to win those belts. You also, if you don't fight, you don't get that extra $150,000 for him missing the weight and for you taking the fight. So it ain't like that. He did Shakur a favor. Nah, he did himself a favor. He getting paid an extra $150K when fighters like Robson Conceição, they're not making money like that. And you giving yourself a chance to, to win those titles. Yeah, right. Exactly, Sheena. He would have got stripped of those belts. He would have got stripped anyway, so Joshua Hawkins says, man, the brunette top-ranked chick had me distracted during the post-fight interviews. I don't know. I didn't see. Say 10, 4K, what's happening with it? Yeah, right. And see, this is another thing, right? Robson Conceição is a hell of a fighter. You don't win a gold medal in the same Olympics that Shakur Stevenson and, all of them was in, and you just some bum. Robson Conceição is a hell of a fighter. Like, he's big. Like I said, dude is 5'10". He can fight. So I'm hearing a lot of motherfuckers talking about, oh man, Shakur Stevenson, he's not that impressive. He's not that good of a fighter. Robson Conceição hit him a lot. He showed that he's vulnerable. He gets hit a lot. Bro, and we're gonna talk about all of that. Because I see respectfully, like Dub Rightside always say, respectfully, I see a lot of people watch boxing, but they don't know shit about boxing. Just because you watch boxing don't mean that you actually know what you're watching. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Shakur Stevenson getting hit a lot. That's what they're saying. Dub Rightside, he said, who Shakur gonna fight first at 135? Man, I don't know because you got to look at a 135-pound landscape, right? You got Devin Haney and Kambosos coming up. I got Devin Haney winning that fight, and then if Devin Haney stays at 135, you got Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko because I got Vasyl Lomachenko beating Jermaine Ortiz. So that kind of, you know what I'm saying? That leaves them off the table. Then you got, and we're talking about top rank because I hear other people doing this, right? They're naming a lot of other fighters in the 135-pound division as potential opponents for Shakur Stevenson, but it's not realistic. these are no better than fantasy fights, because if they're not on top rank, the fight ain't happening. And yeah, we talking about Gervonta Davis too. So we're going to get into all of that. But you stop naming these fantasy fights, because if they not at top rank, the fights are not happening. So yeah, you know, Dundada, what's happening with it? Top Dog, what it do? William Old School, what it do? What you say? Can't pick and choose what gold medalists are trash and not. I don't know what you're talking about. But Robson Conceição in the pros, right? Some guys, they medal in the Olympics and they don't do so well in the pros. In the pros, Robson Conceição, he's shown that he can fight. Like, he can fight. You feel me? I'm saying you can look, if you know boxing like I do, you can look at a fighter and tell if he can fight or not. Robson Conceição, pro style, he can fight. A lot of people say that he beat Oscar Valdez. I honestly thought that he was beating Oscar Valdez, and I thought that he let Oscar Valdez come back and edge that fight out. He did. You know what I'm saying? He faded down the stretch and he let Oscar Valdez edge the fight out. You got to understand, Oscar Valdez was fighting in his hometown. You know what I'm saying? In his backyard. Ain't no way they was going to give a close fight to Robson Conceição in that fight. Johnny Q, what's happening with it? But yeah, so you know, hey, Shakur Stevenson, let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about the fight. He went out there and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, he went out there, and to me, he wanted to put on a show for his fans. He came out with Kevin Gates, and he wanted to put on a show. So Shakur Stevenson, he could have went out there and fought Robson Conceição and made it a boring fight, which y'all like to call boring. Not get hit at all. Use his angles, stay on the outside, and just pick Robson Conceição apart, with jabs and pity pat shit. But he ain't want to do that. He walked him down and he showed, hey, y'all say I'm boring. Well, I'm gonna make it an exciting fight for the fans. But it's crazy because I still hear motherfuckers running around talking about Shakur Stevenson. That was a boring fight. Shakur Stevenson is boring. How was that fight boring? What was boring about that fight? You motherfuckers want to see Rock'em Sock'em Robots stand in the ring like two drunk ass fucking white dudes in a goddamn bar fight and trade and, hit each other back and forth and shit. Stick their chin out and just hit each other back and forth until both of them bloody, and then one of them fall out because he can't go no more. That's what y'all want to see. Bare knuckle boxing, y'all can see that shit. Y'all need to stop watching professional boxing and watch bare knuckle boxing, because that shit hella entertaining, and that's what y'all want to see. For anybody to say that, oh man, Shakur Stevenson, man, he's boring. That fight was boring. It wasn't nothing boring about that fight at all. Nothing at all was boring about that fight. Shakur Stevenson, he went out there, and like I said, he showed that, hey, I have different levels to me. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to walk him down. I'm going to hit him to the body. I'm going to hit him to the head. And yeah, I might take some punches, but I'm going to give you way more than I'm going to take. And that's what he did, man. He broke Robson Conceição down. And the thing is that Robson Conceição, he started trying to survive. And yeah, you might say that Shakur Stevenson is not the best closer, but I mean, he don't gotta be. He winning damn near every round. He don't really lose rounds. He might have lost maybe 1 or 2 rounds in that fight. Like, you don't see Shakur Stevenson lose rounds. So I'm not gonna sit here and cry and say, oh man, he don't know how to close the show. Everybody is not a knockout artist. Yeah, Tank Davis is a knockout artist, but we see Tank Davis lose a lot more rounds than we see Shakur Stevenson losing. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just all about what you like. But you ain't got to knock the man because, oh, well, he doesn't come out there. He don't knock out everybody. He win every round. He dominate everybody. So it is what it is. HTZ, what's happening with it, man? Salute. Showing love and supporting the super chat. He says, Conceição beat Loma in the amateurs. Yeah, I didn't know that. But, you know, it don't surprise me. Conceição can fight. I didn't know nothing about that. But so let's address everybody. And y'all hit the like button. Like I said, y'all hit the like button. Let's address everybody, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers making videos talking about, oh, Shakur Stevenson, he's not that impressive. He's not that good. He can't compete with Devin Haney and Tank. Like, that shit sounds the furthest from facts to me. That shit sounds stupid as fuck for anybody to sit here and say, oh man, Shakur Stevenson, he's not that good. He can't compete with Tank and Devin Haney. Like, how stupid does that sound? How dumb does that sound? And then talking about, oh man, Shakur Stevenson got hit way too much. Well, let's pull up the facts, right? Since we like to talk about facts all the time, let's pull up the facts. Hold on. Mr., you know, everybody, Shakur Stevenson got hit way too much. Oh man, he was landing a whole lot of shots on Shakur Stevenson. Well, let's pull up the stats. Hold on, I got them right here. Here we go. Shakur Stevenson landed a career high for total punches and body shots versus arguably his best opponent, who landed just 5 punches per round. And he landed at a 12% connect rate. So Shakur Stevenson landed the most punches in that fight that he's landed on any fighter. But his opponent, Robson Conceição, only landed at a 12% connect rate. 5 punches per round. But this how much a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. You'll say that Shakur Stevenson, oh man, Shakur, he showed that he's vulnerable. He gets hit a lot. He got hit a lot. The man only landed 5 punches per round and 12% connect rate. But that's a lot. How? Somebody got to make this shit make sense to me. Why are dudes making videos talking about Shakur Stevenson can't compete with Devin Haney and Tank Davis? Shakur Stevenson, he's not impressive at all. He got exposed. He got hit a lot. This type of shit I'm hearing. But his opponent only landed 5 punches per round and 12% connect rate. Make it make sense. Now, listening to these cats that's saying all this shit, you would think that Shakur Stevenson was getting touched up throughout the whole fight. You see a fighter land 1 or 2 shots in a round against Shakur Stevenson, and then you get to jumping up and running around talking about, oh man, he gets hit a lot. Look, oh, he stepped up in competition. He's getting exposed. What? Like, for real? Shakur Stevenson does not get hit 12%. If you fighting the opponent on the level of Robson Conceição, and you can leave out of the fight and only get hit 12% in 5 punches per round, that's damn good to me. And then motherfuckers is talking about, oh man, if Tank this and Tank is a hell of a fighter. But let's keep it real. Do we want to pull Tank Davis's compu stats up and see how many times he get hit? Do we want to go back and talk about how many times Gervonta Davis got hit against Gamboa that had a torn Achilles? Do we want to go back and talk about how many times Gervonta Tank Davis got hit against a little ass Leo Santa Cruz? Or do we want to go back and look at Gervonta Tank Davis's CompuStats and see how many times he got hit against what's the dude at 140, the Mexican at 140? Goddamn, I can't even think of his name. So if we're gonna do that, well, let's pull it since everybody, oh man, Tank this and Tank that. Tank gets hit way more than Shakur Stevenson do. Way more. So don't talk to me about, oh man, Shakur Stevenson got hit a lot. Like, you're going to get hit. And he fought a fight to where he wasn't fighting defense. Barrios, yeah. He fought a fight to where he wasn't going to fight a defensive fight. He went out there and he made it his duty to say, look, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to put on the show. Yeah, I might get hit more, but I'm going to put on the show because I'm going to fight a different style fight. Now, if Shakur fights Gervonta Davis, I'm pretty sure he's not going to fight that style fight. I'm pretty sure Shakur is going to fight a much more defensively responsible fight. It's just common sense. You feel me? So, that's just like, I don't know, man. Some of y'all give me a headache listening to y'all talk, for real. Shit crazy. Hustle Holmes, what's happening with it? Hustle Holmes say, so how is he getting hit a lot and in the boring fight at the same time? Sounds crazy to me. Exactly. Shit crazy, man. Don't make no sense. But like I said, Shakur Stevenson went on to call Devin Haney out. Yeah, he called Devin out. And he called the whole 135-pound division out. Now, the reason I'm saying Devin is because a lot of people didn't think he was going to call Devin Haney out. Because him and Devin Haney, they tight. You know what I'm saying? They tight. But that show you how much of a dog that Shakur Stevenson is. I don't give a fuck how cool we is. If we in the same weight division, you got to get it. If we in the same weight division, you got to get it. And that's exactly the way that he coming. That's the way that he bringing it. Hey, yeah, we cool, but shit, he in the weight division. I want him too. He got the belts. I want him. And to me, honestly, Pac-Man Tay, I don't even know who you talk. I don't know if you're talking to me. He said, oh, so you did watch the fight. I don't know who you're talking to. But yeah, so like I said, man, honestly, I don't see that fight happening at 135, like I said before. It's just because of the simple fact is that, look, man, it's just they're not gonna line it up that way. It's pretty much Bob Arum already has who he wants to fight. You feel me? Bob Arum already has who he wants to fight at 135 for Devin. He already got the fights lined up for Devin at 135. Like I said, it ain't really no way to go around that. Unless Vasyl Lomachenko loses, right? Or Vasyl Lomachenko changes his mind on wanting to fight Devin Haney. They already got that road mapped out for Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney to fight each other. I hear a lot of people talking about Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko. Well, the only way that happens is that Devin Haney move up. You feel me? Devin Haney had to move up. So, yeah, man, it ain't going to happen. I think that fight will eventually happen because that's the fight that people going to want to see. I think that fight will more so happen that, I don't know. They keep missing each other. Every weight class, they miss each other by like that much. So I think that even in the amateurs, I think that Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney will end up fighting maybe at, if not 140, 147 for sure. They'll end up fighting at 147 for sure. And as of right now, if they fought right now, I got Shakur Stevenson winning that fight. To me, I've always said this. Shakur Stevenson is just better all around to me. It's not by a wide margin, but Shakur Stevenson is he got more dog in him. He's just more skilled. You know, I think that he'll win that fight right now. But like I said, down the road, I also think that Devin Haney is the more disciplined fighter, right? I think that once they become mega stars, I think that Shakur Stevenson will never be as disciplined outside of the ring as Devin Haney. So I think maybe down the road, Devin Haney might be able to pass Shakur Stevenson if Shakur Stevenson don't keep his head in the game. Like Devin Haney, man, like the one thing about Devin Haney is he a rich kid. He was rich growing up. So money and fame is not going to change how he moves. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I like about Devin Haney. Like, he used to it. He grew up like that. So it's not going to change him. You know, Shakur Stevenson, I ain't going to lie. I'm going to keep it 100. I didn't see change in Shakur Stevenson from the time that he came in the game to now. You feel me? So, I mean, y'all can take that as you want, what you want. But, yeah, I can see, you know, I can see him falling off his pivot, maybe. You know, he is a gym rat. He is a dog. He stay in the gym. But I can see him falling off his pivot way before I can see Devin Haney. And what that says is down the line, even if I think that Shakur is better now, down the line, if I had to bet, I'll bet on Devin Haney maybe down the line. You know what I'm saying? In the long run. But for right now, it's Shakur. Yeah. Pac-Man, yeah, I don't know what you was talking about. Saying I did watch the fight. Oh, so I did watch the fight, laugh out loud. I had no idea what you're talking about. Dundada said it's gonna be worse for Shakur if they fight at 140 or 147. I don't know how is it gonna be worse. But Shakur gonna be Murray. Shakur gonna be way better than OK at he gonna be way better than OK at 135. Way better than OK for sure. Ryan Clark, SUP, what's happening with it? Yeah. Let me see who else. Battle for Life, what's happening with it? A Grant Jr., what's happening with it? Dank Father, what's good? Sean Clark says I got Shakur over Haney. Devin, let me see. Sean, let me see. Like, that's a chess match. You feel me? It's going, like, that fight is going to come down to who got the higher skill level, who got the higher IQ, and it's also going to come down to who got more dog in them. And I'm going to tell you right off the rip, to me, in my opinion, Shakur got more dog than Devin Haney. And I'm not saying that Devin Haney don't got a lot of dog in him. Shakur is just more nasty. He just, you know what I'm saying? Like, Shakur is just mean. He a lot meaner. He got more dog in him. OTB says, does Shakur size advantage make you assess him differently talent-wise? Size advantage against who? Because he ain't going to have no size advantage against Devin like that. He didn't have a size advantage against Robson Conceição. Shakur wasn't bigger than Robson Conceição. Conceição was actually bigger than Shakur. Now, he might have been wider, more thicker, but he wasn't bigger than Robson Conceição at all. Leak says Ryan will upset someone. I wouldn't doubt it, man. A lot of people shit on Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia is dangerous. You can sleep on Ryan. Motherfuckers can keep sleeping on Ryan Garcia if you want to. People can keep sleeping on Ryan Garcia and think that he just trash and he's a bum and Ryan Garcia. No, all right. Like I said, I'm not. He ain't the best, but like I said, he might have the fastest hands, and you know, he's up there in the top 3 of power at 135, 140, or whatever. 135, because we ain't really seen him fight nobody at 140 yet. You know, he ain't no bum. He has flaws. All these fighters got flaws. His flaws that he have, they just stick out a little more. You feel me? His flaws that he have, they stick out more than you might see, a Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, From a weight perspective, well, I don't know. I think that Shakur Stevenson, like I said, man, we seen how big he's been at 130 pounds. He was even huge for 126. So I think at 135, I think that he'll even be better. I think he'll even be better at 135. But, we got to see. I think he'll even be better. I think him not having to cut so much weight to help him out. Jay Easy says, I don't think he's ready for Tank because he don't have what it takes, stiff, hard jab to keep Tank off of him. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Shakur Stevenson, to me, beats Tank Davis. And like I said, it wouldn't be no easy fight. Wouldn't be an easy fight, but I think that he beats Tank Davis because he don't fight Gervonta Davis the same way that he fought Robson Conceição. I think that he just got more elements to his game. Shakur gonna have to rely, and Tank Davis is going to have to rely on getting the knockout. And yeah, Tank he can box, but he can't box on the level of Shakur Stevenson. He just can't. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him get outboxed before he get the knockout. I've seen that shit before. I don't know, a lot of people have amnesia or just tend to act like certain shit didn't happen, but I've seen it. I ain't never seen nobody come close to outboxing Shakur. So if you can't get the knockout and in round 9, 10, 11, and 12 hit, what are you going to do then? You ain't winning no chess match versus Shakur Stevenson. You're not outboxing him. So people are just enamored by power. Oh, man, he got power. Once he hits Shakur, Shakur's going to go to sleep. That's okay. I mean, y'all, that's what y'all going to bank on? Once he hits Shakur Stevenson, Shakur going to go to sleep? Yeah, have y'all ever thought well, man, maybe what if Shakur has a chin? That's a real big possibility that Shakur has a chin and can take a punch. We've seen him take punches against Robson Conceição, although he don't hit near as hard as Tank. We've seen him take punches against Oscar Valdez. Yeah, he don't hit hard as Tank neither, but he took him. He ain't never got rocked. He never looked like he was hurt at all. And he kept walking through him. And like I said, I mean, you can't just say, oh, man, if Tank touch him, he going. And then what if Tank hits him, but he can't hit him with a clean just shot that he don't see? What people don't understand is the punch that you get knocked out by is not the punch that you can see coming and brace yourself for. It's the punch that you don't see. Like some shit that he hit Rolly with. The shit that he hit Leo Santa Cruz with. You know what I'm saying? He stopped Barrios with a body shot. Shit that you don't see. I don't see him landing a shot like that against Shakur Stevenson because Shakur is defensively responsible. So, y'all it's funny because you got guys like Mike Tyson. Did Mike Tyson knock out everybody he was in the ring with? No, he didn't. Because he eventually got in the ring with opponents that wasn't scared of him. And when he would hit them, they was able to take the punches. It's a big difference when you step up in competition. Like I said, Tank can fight his ass off, but honestly, in my opinion, Tank still ain't even fought the level of competition of a Robson Conceição. He ain't. To me, because people gonna say, oh man, well, he fought Pedraza. To me, Pedraza ain't on that level. Pedraza's good, but I think that if Conceição and Pedraza fought, I would pick Conceição to beat Pedraza. They're not that far apart, but I'm saying I'll pick Conceição. Leo Santa Cruz, no. I always say Leo Santa Cruz didn't have a fucking chance in hell of beating Tank. Like, that was a tailor-made opponent. Leo Santa Cruz stands in front of you, throw a million punches, and he's not disciplined. Tailor-made opponent. Who else? Who else he fought? I mean, come on, man. My baby Gina in the building. What's good with it, baby? She says Shakur has great stamina too. Yeah, and Shakur don't get tired. He don't get tired. So like I said, it's not a, I mean, if you say that you pick Gervonta Tank Davis to beat Shakur Stevenson, I don't have a problem with that. That's your opinion. You can pick Gervonta Davis to beat Shakur, but when you come out and say, oh man, Shakur can't compete with Tank and Tank knocks him out. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You'll take the bet versus Tank and Shakur? Well, I mean, first, Tay, before, in order for you to take, if they ever did fight, oh yeah, I'll take that bet in a heartbeat. But in order for them to fight, you got to go tell your partner Tank to go fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he not going to fight Shakur. He ain't going to fight Devin. He ain't going to fight none of them. So, I mean, it's easy to say that shit, but we know none of those fights is going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. If they are able to make Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, I like that fight. And I'll give Gervonta Davis all the credit in the world for a Ryan Garcia victory. You know, he knocked out Ryan. Yeah, you got to get credit. Oh, you're talking about Pedraza versus Conceição. Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's not a big gap. It's not a big gap, but if they fought, well, first, Pedraza is in 140 pounds. He's a 140-pound fighter, but at 130, I'll pick Conceição if they was in the weight division. You know, I was like, Pedraza's good, but even if you go back and watch the Pedraza fight with Gervonta Davis, he fought the wrong fight. Tay, do you remember watching Gervonta Davis versus Pedraza? He fought the wrong. Pedraza tried to walk Tank down. He stood right in front of Tank and tried to bang it out with Tank. You can't fight Gervonta Davis like that. Not a Pedraza. Like, how can you? He just went in there and he threw all of his skills out of the way. He threw all of his boxing IQ, his movement, all the shit that Pedraza does, and he tried to go in there and walk Tank down. Toe-to-toe. He tried to stand toe-to-toe with Tank. Come on now. I don't know if he thought that because he was bigger than Tank and Tank was young at that point in time and he was going to be able to bully him, but that was just a stupid fight to fight. Now, am I saying that if he had fought a different fight versus Pedraza, it would have ended different? No, but I'm just saying Pedraza didn't even give himself a chance the way that he fought. Yeah, OTB, he tried to stay in the pocket and bang with Tank. Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Why would you try to stand in the pocket and bang with Gervonta Davis? Like, that shit, Pedraza just fought a dumbass fight. You know what I'm saying? And so, to this day, like Wilder say, Tank still haven't fought a fighter that has different elements to him. What's happening with it, coach? Tank still ain't fought a fighter that can box and move and got respectable power. All them fighters he be in the ring with, they the same fighter. Flat-footed, and that's going to be right there in front of him. I still need to see Gervonta Davis fight somebody like a Conceição, somebody that could box and, you know, got different elements to his game. And yeah, of course I picked Gervonta Davis to beat Conceição. Yeah. But I think Conceição could give him some problems too. You know, because if Leo Santa Cruz can and Mario Barrios and fighters like that can give him problems, what is for me to say? And even Rolly was even getting off on him at times. So how am I going to sit up here and Pitbull? Well, to me, Pitbull didn't do shit in that fight. Pitbull, he boxed well. He did well defensively because Tank couldn't catch him with shit. But to me, it's like Tank beat him with one hand and he outboxed him. You don't get no credit for getting outboxed. Like Tank was able to show me in that fight, okay, he could take it to another level. You know what I'm saying? Tank was able to show me, okay, if I need to, I can box and I can take it to another level. I can use angles. I can box off the back foot. And he did that. And to me, Tank won. Like, I was more impressed in that fight when Tank fought Isaac Pitbull Cruz than any of his fights. And the thing is, people that don't know shit about boxing, they'll tell you, oh man, Tank got exposed in that fight. Tank didn't get the knockout. Tank didn't look good in that fight. And I'll tell you the opposite. I say, you know what? Tank showed me more in that fight than I've seen from Tank Davis in a long, long time. In a long time. You feel me? Because he was able to show his boxing skills in that fight. And Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he's okay, but he's not it. I'm telling y'all. He get in there with Tank again. I'm not going to say that Tank going to knock him out, but he going to get outboxed again. He's going to get outboxed again. Yeah, Jay Miller, Tank showed levels against Isaac. Yeah, and I gained, like I said, I also gained more respect because he showed me, okay, if something's wrong and you can't get a knockout, what can you do? And he showed he could do that. But you can't compare Isaac Pitbull Cruz to Shakur Stevenson. Because if I guarantee you, if there was Tank Davis in the ring with Shakur Stevenson and not Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and Tank Davis only had one hand, Shakur Stevenson would have embarrassed him. He would have put on a motherfucking boxing display against Tank Davis. But you can do that against Isaac Pitbull Cruz, a fighter where he's going to press you. He's going to come forward in a straight line, and you're going to know where he's at all times. So Tank Davis, he showed his ring IQ. All right, I'm going to take angles. I'm going to just outbox him. I'm going to jab him. I'm going to, and he did that. Yeah, so, Pac-Man say Tank hardest fight will be Shakur at 135. I believe so, too. I believe so. A lot of people think Devin Haney, and I don't have no problem with that because Devin Haney could, but me, the way that I see Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney going, I think Devin Haney would win a lot of rounds in that fight with his jab, but Tank Davis is good because, see, I think that you at some point in that fight, you're going to have to be able to fight on the inside. You're going to have to be able to, press Tank and walk him back. And Devin Haney ain't going to do that. Devin Haney, if he can't win that fight just off a jab, is he going to be bold enough to let his nuts hang and throw power shots? I don't think he will because he's going to be too afraid of being hit by Tank. Like I said, I see Tank, and like I said, it's a hard fight. It's a hard fight because Devin could outbox Tank. Just say, fuck it, I'm going to play safe and I'm going to outbox him. But I see Tank Davis catching him somewhere in the later rounds. Once Devin starts slowing down, I see Tank catching him and probably stopping him. Now, if the fight go the distance, I see Devin Haney winning. But if I had to put my money on it, I would bet on the stoppage for Tank Davis to beat Devin Haney. Now, with Shakur and Tank, different style fight. Because Shakur, he got dog in him. Shakur ain't going to let Tank just back him up all night. Shakur, he could be right here, And you still gonna miss because he know his angles and he knows how to judge distance very well. And yeah, I got Shakur winning that fight, man. And I'll bet anybody if they ever fought. But like I said, we keep throwing Gervonta in this scenarios because Gervonta is, you know, to a lot of people, the top dog in that division. To me, Devin Haney is the top dog in that division. Devin Haney is the top dog. You know, he got all the belts. And he's the one that put in that work, right? But, you know, for some other reasons, people say that Tank is the top dog. He's not the top dog to me. But we putting Tank in a scenario because he is a top dog in that division. And with that being said, it just, you know, it's pitiful that we're not going to see Tank fight none of them dudes. We ain't going to see Tank. I'm telling y'all. Devin Haney going to beat him moved up. Vasil Lomachenko, he going to be right there, or he going to beat him retired. Who knows? And the rest of them moved up already. So you're going to have Tank and Shakur in that fight. I mean, in that division. And it's a fight that we're not going to see. Ain't no way in hell we're going to see that fight. Leonard Ellerbe, Floyd Mayweather, and Tank Davis ain't going to make that fight happen. So, you know, we could talk about it because, man, it's an interesting conversation and interesting debate, but it ain't going to happen. Louis, and I'm going to drop the link because, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to drop the link right now. If anybody want to cook, on this topic, I'm going to drop the link for y'all. And, you know, shit, if anybody want to weigh in on that, you know, say so. What's happening with it, Knockout? I know who Knockout got over everybody. Knockout got Tank over everybody from 130 to 140. But, hey, I ain't got no problem with it. But can't nobody sit here and tell me like some of these dudes is doing, making live streams and videos talking about, oh, man, Shakur got exposed. Shakur get hit too much. 13% is too much. Opponent landing 5 punches per round is too much. I don't know what the fuck y'all, I don't know what type of boxing y'all came up watching. That shit is record numbers to me. Shit crazy. And like I said, man, to me, you gotta, I like fighters that can box like Shakur Stevenson, but that can walk you down and go toe to toe. And then you could be right there in the pocket with, and he could be right there in the pocket with you and still slide back and make you miss and then make you pay. It ain't too many fighters can do that. See, Devin Haney he got a whole different style. What Devin Haney will do is he'll stay on the outside. He can't really, you know what I'm saying? He can't be in the pocket with you and make you miss and make you pay like that. He's a different style fighter. And I'm not saying that what he do ain't great too, but it's just two different style fighters when you talk about Devin Haney and Shakur. Just because they both boxers don't mean that they fight the same. If you don't get hit, they'll say you can't take a punch. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, oh man, we Shakur, he can't take a punch, and you ain't never seen him. Like, is he supposed to just close his eyes and say, you know what, hit me with your greatest shot and see if you can knock me out? That is not the name of the game. Marcus Walls, exactly like Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, and Pernell Whitaker is one of my all-time favorite fighters. You can't tell me shit about Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was another fighter levels like that. He could be right in the pocket with you, slide back, make you miss by inches, and then make you pay. That's just most fighters can't do that.
When people talk, what's up, Keith, by the way?
What's happening with it?
But when people talk and they say, we don't know if he can take a punch, who say he gonna land what y'all want him to land? These dudes are boxers, bro. These dudes are
right.
Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson they are great boxers. You understand? So all of this shit these dudes be saying, can he take Tank punch? Who said Tank gonna land that big punch? Who said that? That he could, if Tank looking for that big punch all night long, he gonna lose the fight on points. I'm not saying that Tank can't beat both of those guys because he can't. But what I'm saying is, if that's what they're relying on, Gervonta Davis landing that big shot, then they might be all night waiting. Might be. You know what I'm saying? That's what get me when people say that dumb shit. Now, is Tank a good boxer? Yes. But the problem that Tank is going to have with these particular two guys, and I know Knockout going to disagree, but his size difference he's been fighting guys who's not as skilled as these two particular guys, right? So the thing is if you're looking for that big shot on Shakur or Devin from Tank, that might not happen. The guys he's been fighting, he's been able to get to them because they not as good as these two superb boxers. Now, is it possible? Absolutely. Can Tank put him to sleep? Absolutely. But just to say that when people use that excuse and say, well, can they take Tank punch? Who said Tank is going to land that punch? Floyd Mayweather fought a lot of guys who punch way harder than him. Way harder. But they couldn't. Canelo punches harder than Floyd, but he couldn't catch him. Couldn't touch him. And he got his ass whipped the whole fight. So this is what people have to understand with boxing. But, you know, all three of those guys, I see it as 50-50 fights, to be honest with you. Now that with Shakur's there, it's even more intriguing, and it's some good fucking fights that's like Hearns, Leonard, and Duran, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's three hella fighters in that division, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is the thing, right? Because everybody just steadfast on Tank gonna hit him and knock him out, right? So the thing is, like I said before, Coach, when you at the A level, when you at A name, we're not talking about C level fighters and these, you know, that just gonna get knocked out by anything, right? When you at the A level, the punch that knocks you out is the punch that you get hit with that you don't see, right? Tank Davis, he can knock anybody out if he hit him clean and they don't see the shot. You know what I'm saying? He can knock anybody out. Shakur, Devin, motherfucking goddamn, and you want to go up and wait to 140, you want to go to 147, whatever. He can knock anybody out if he catch you with a shot clean that you don't see. But the thing is when you step up in competition with guys like Shakur Stevenson, right? The thing is what is the possibility that he catches Shakur Stevenson with a shot that he doesn't see? You see what I'm saying? Tank is, he's gonna land shots on Shakur, but Shakur ain't finna just crumble as soon as Tank hit him. It's the shot that you don't see. Now, I don't see him hitting Shakur. I don't see Shakur Stevenson getting undisciplined enough to get hit with a wild shot from Tank, run into a shot, or get hit with an uppercut or whatever it may be that he don't see. You know what I'm saying? So and it's going to be
not only that, Keon. What I wanted to say is, you know, Tank's height and his reach is not a problem with a lot of those guys he's fought. But it's gonna be a problem with them two dudes, bro. That is going to come into play. Guys that know how to control distance from a guy who's much shorter than they are, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a tough fight. Now, can he close the distance? We gotta see. Now, if he closes the distance and able to land hard shots, hey, bro, it is what it is. But that's a problem for him. That's those two particular guys being those type of boxers who have nice, long, strong jabs. It's gonna be a problem.
Let me address something real quick. See, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about with people that, and I was talking about this earlier in the live stream, probably before he came in here, right? But these are the type of dudes that I'm talking about, right? That don't know shit about boxing just because you respectfully, like Dub Rightside like to say, you don't know shit about boxing. Because these are the type of guys that watch boxing. Just because you watch it don't mean that you know shit about boxing. He said, so Shakur got caught all night Friday, but Tank won't. So now let me go. Shakur Stevenson, right? Let me read these punch stats off again.
Just sub the OTB boxing school, bro. We'll get you together, man.
Yeah, get them together, please.
We'll get you together, bro.
Not just him. A lot of them need to get got together. Now, let me read this, right?
Was much taller than Shakur.
This is, hold on. Let me read this, right? Stevenson landed a career high for total punches and body shots versus arguably his best opponent, who landed just 5 punches per round and just 12% of his total punches. Now, you would get somebody like him would tell you that Shakur was getting caught all night long, but the man only landed 5 punches per round and 12% connect percentage for the whole 12-round fight. Do he know shit about boxing? Come on, man.
And then he fought him on the front foot.
But then, right? But then this same dude will see Gervonta Tank Davis, and this ain't no knock to Tank, because he get the job done anybody he step in the ring with. But this same dude will see Gervonta Tank Davis fight and get hit 2-3 times more than what Shakur Stevenson got hit. It won't say a motherfucking word about it. But as soon as he sees Shakur Stevenson get hit twice, oh man, he got hit all night. Man, he took look at he just, oh man, he got exposed. That's what I'm saying. These dudes, they don't be knowing shit about boxing. They think that we're so used to Shakur Stevenson not getting hit like damn near at all. As soon as you see him hit, oh man, he's exposed. He got hit all night. Shakur Stevenson dominated that fight against a gold medalist, against Robson Conceição. Nobody's ever came close to dominating Robson Conceição, but that's all you have to say about Shakur Stevenson. You don't give him no credit. You just want to come in, oh man, he got exposed and he got hit all night. Like, this shit crazy. OTB, man, who came in? Who y'all going to y'all
go ahead, not.
Yeah, man. Look, bro. The only thing that got exposed on Friday night with Shakur Stevenson is that he's a hell of a fighter. Like, I don't see what everybody's talking about exposed and all that shit. I thought he put on a great performance. He was more aggressive than he usually is, which was great to see. And he did his thing, bro. But on the Tank and Shakur conversation that y'all having, I see what y'all saying. I see everything that y'all saying, but I see that shit in reverse. Like, I see exactly the opposite. So the way that one thing of note though, Shakur ain't just a hell of a bigger than Tank. I do want to put that out there. Like, this notion that he's so much longer than Tank, bro, they got the same exact reach almost. One of them got a 67.5-inch reach. The other one got a 68-inch reach. So I think that's a misnomer because Shakur Stevenson is stocky and he looks big. That height ain't gonna matter if they got the same reach, coach. But anyway, it's not gonna matter, bro. Like let me cook on it. So the issue that I'm seeing is like the same, like, and we've had this conversation before, like with Tank Davis. I keep hearing about, well, he ain't used to fighting nobody like Shakur. All the shit that he get off on these certain fighters, he's not gonna get off on that shit with Shakur. Well, my thing is this, bro, that distance control shit that barely making people miss, it's a lot different barely making somebody like Conceição miss or barely making somebody like Oscar Valdez miss and judging that distance just right to where they hand go right by your chin and then you right there in position to fire off on your ass. Making them miss like that just barely while still being in position, that's a whole different task, and that's a whole different thing than barely making Tank Davis miss. Somebody that's more explosive, somebody that can box, somebody that has a higher ring IQ than all of those guys. And like, you know, no knock on Shakur, he did his thing, but we all know what happens in a fight between Conceição and Tank Davis, just like we know what happens in the fight between all the guys that Tank fought and Shakur Stevenson. So we got to see the fight. I just see it differently because I give Tank more credit for his boxing and his ring IQ. And I think he can box with those guys with no problem. Like, ain't nobody, not Shakur Stevenson, not no fucking Devin Haney. Ain't nobody gonna get in that bitch and just outbox Tank like that. Ain't nobody just gonna get in that hole and just have him out there looking bad like he don't belong in the ring with him and shit. They might get their shit off, but you can bet for damn sure he gonna get his shit off too. And in a fight that's that evenly matched, that's equal to me, I favor Tank in that fight because I don't think Shakur can hurt him. I know Tank can hurt him. I don't think Devin can hurt him. I know Tank can hurt him. He just got that type of effortless pop that just you can't teach and shit. So to me, I see everything that y'all saying. I agree with all your points. I just see it differently, and I think Tank will end up beating Shakur or Devin simply off the strength of he can box like they can box. He's just as good. with everything that they can do, he can do it. He can do it, and he got shit that he do better than them. But he also just got a certain it factor that they don't have, bro. And that's what it's gonna come down to me. So I'm like y'all. I hope we get to see the fights. I hope that Floyd and Mayweather Promotions or whatever the case may be, or Top Rank, whoever, I hope that they go make these fights happen because that's what the lightweight division need. But am I ready to say that Shakur Stevenson is the best at lightweight? Nah, I got to see him fight a top lightweight first. But what he does do for me is now we got one more guy. It used to be Longman, Haney, and Tank. Those are only 50-50 fights. Everybody else is food. Shakur does jump into that mix and automatically, based off of his skills and what he did at the lower weight classes, to me, he does jump in that mix and automatically become somebody that is a 50-50 fight with all those guys. Somebody that you got to put right up there with him as somebody that can beat those guys. And so anytime you add somebody like that to the division, I think it's lit. I think it's crunk. I can't wait to see his campaign at 135 pounds. But I would just say for Shakur Stevenson backers and Shakur Stevenson fans, the guys at 135 much longer than the guys at 130 pounds. The guys at 135 hit much harder. They are typically better boxers. So that dominance that you see against those guys at 130, like, let's just keep it a buck. All of Shakur's best wins, the Jamel Herring win, the Oscar Valdez win, the win that he just had over Conceição, all those wins, I think we could all agree that Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, even somebody like an Isak Pitbull Cruz, guys like that, all beat those guys too. So it is what it is, man. Great performance by him, but I just got Tank winning the fight. I hope we get to see it, and that's really all I got on it, bro. I ain't got much else to say.
I think that Robson Conceição, I think that he's big as hell, 5'10". He a big fighter, and I think that if you look at the fighters that Tank fought, I think Robson Conceição beat a lot of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I really do. Even
he can't beat Pedraza. He can't beat Pedraza. He can't beat.
I think that him and Pedraza, I think that he could beat Pedraza. I think he could be. Like, me and you disagree on that. But I think
he can't do nothing with Pedraza. He's soft. He ain't got no inside game.
I think that him and Pitbull Cruz is a neck and neck fight.
Him and who?
I think that him and Pitbull Cruz is a neck and neck fight.
Man, Pitbull Cruz will walk through.
I think that he'll outbox Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz he's not like I said, y'all. You see, me and you differ because you love fighters that can present a knockout. Like, you love that power, that knockout. That shit don't mean nothing to me because I've seen a whole lot of fighters have a whole bunch of power in. Once they get in the ring with certain fighters that can box and move and have all of the elements to the game, that shit don't go nowhere. That power don't mean the motherfucking thing.
Conceição ain't that though, Key. And what I'm saying is, like, if Oscar Valdez can cut the ring off on him in the back half of that fight, Isak Pitbull Cruz will be able to. And he just can't. He ain't got no power to keep guys above him. Like, I watched this dude get dropped and hurt badly against Luis Correa, bro, who has like 4 or 5 losses and shit. Like, bro, he can't do nothing with Pitbull Cruz, bro. If Luis Correa is not,
I disagree with that.
Nah, bro, I don't know about that.
Bro, y'all go watch Luis Correa fight. This dude got.
I don't care about no Luis Correa. I'm talking about Pitbull Cruz and Robson Conceição.
Bro. Luis Correa really. Luis Correa knocked this dude Conceição down.
Pitbull Cruz is too wild, man. He's too wild.
And Conceição had bro.
Pitbull Cruz is 5'4".
Pitbull beat the shit out of Conceição.
You talking about somebody?
Of course, you gonna say that because Tank is your guy.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that because it's my opinion for you.
No, it's my opinion. Tank and lasted 12 rounds with Tank. That shit, Pitbull Cruz is one dimensional. He's wild. He ain't nah.
Bro, all right. I hope we get to see that fight, bro. Like, that's crazy.
Shots all night and get moved on. And
he shots from who? Conceição feather fisted ass, bro.
I don't care how hard he punched. I'm talking about him just eating shots all night, and he gonna move out the way, and he gonna throw them wild ass hooks because he don't throw no straight punches at all. And Conceição will box his eyeballs out his head, bro.
No, he won't, bro.
That, bro. Man,
not even close. That fight's not even close.
J.A. Dixon, J.A. Dixon.
I'm not a fan of Pitbull.
J.A. Dixon, you misunderstand it. This ain't about Tank right here. I'm just saying that Knockout is saying that because he fought Tank. This has
No,
nothing. This
I'm saying
conversation
that
don't have
because
nothing to do with Tank. Really,
I'm saying that because if he can, bro, like Tank moves well laterally. Like Conceição does not move laterally on his back foot with the explosive counter punching that Tank Davis has, and Isak Pitbull Cruz is able to corner him, bro. Y'all are crazy if you think Isak Pitbull Cruz is not gonna corner Conceição and bang his little ass out of there, bro. He gonna fuck him up, bro. He will fuck that dude up, dog. Y'all is tripping.
You tripping? He's not.
5'4".
What does that matter, bro? If I don't respect you, it doesn't matter how
Coach, your volume is real low, Coach.
Coach got a point though when he say 5'4" now, because Robson Conceição is 5'10" and a half. Like, yeah, I mean, and he had a 3.5 inch height advantage over Shakur. You know what that height advantage gonna look like over Pitbull, who 5'4"?
Everybody has a height advantage on him. Like that,
he gonna have a reach advantage too.
And he fighting in lightweight.
It was 2 inches on Shakur. You know what that shit gonna be like on Pitbull, bro?
Bro, Pitbull is going to walk through that dude.
He is gonna jab him all night. He gonna 1-2 his ass.
This man got no inside game. He can't keep nobody off of him, bro.
I'm not disagreeing with that part now.
Okay, so what? So
I'm just saying that I don't feel like Pitbull is able to close the distance.
And he gassed.
Robinson
and Conceição gasses, bro. And he don't. And he's garbage in the back half of fights. Come on, dog.
I'll give you knockout. I'll give you that he does gas. I'll give you that.
I'm not.
I'll give you that for sure. He do gas.
Getting that bitch and get tired after getting that hoe and get tired against Pitbull Cruz in 4 or 5 rounds if you want.
Pitbull Cruz,
even if he hurt him, he's not gonna be able to finish him.
Besides Tank.
That's my thing. Even if Pitbull, he's not gonna finish him.
You put
y'all always go to the resume. I'm just going off
Pitbull Cruz, and he ain't fought nobody besides like them dudes he knocking out his guys that he's supposed
need to see him.
I don't need to see him his inability to finish, bro. His inability to finish. You're not gonna finish Robson Conceição with that wild shit.
Tank Davis is a much better boxer than Robson Conceição. And even before Tank Davis hurt his hand, Pitbull was good enough with his pressure and his feet to cut off the ring and force Tank Davis in the moments where
he would have tired defensively too. Would you not agree to that?
And Tank Davis is better in all areas.
Not more defensively responsible in the fight with Tank Davis.
Who was?
Than we've ever seen him.
Because he knew what was coming back at him, bro. But when you got somebody like Conceição, he gonna throw caution to the wind and gonna be even more
to say that that's what we're gonna see against Robson.
I'm gonna end it like this, right? Because I'm gonna say this, right?
Crazy, bro.
I'm gonna say this to you, knockout. We talking about Tank Davis this and Tank Davis that and Tank Davis this. Well, he ain't gonna fight nobody that we talking about except for a rematch with Pitbull Cruz. So I mean, we can talk about all these fantasy matches with Tank, right?
I mean, when this Ryan Garcia fight get announced, I'll be right back here.
Okay, that's cool. But like I said, nobody that we were talking about, he's fighting. He gonna fight. So I mean, it really don't even matter. So you can't, you know what I'm saying? We need to stop crowning these fighters that ain't gonna fight none of these guys. That's all I'm saying. But I wanna address what Young Billionaire Boxing just said. You know, in the chat, I know he was talking to somebody, but it kind of caught my attention. He says that, and he says that he hearing behind the scenes that Teofimo Lopez is negotiating with Pedraza or Barbosa. And I just got to say, neither one of those fights are pay-per-view fights, because Teofimo Lopez told us that he fighting on pay-per-view in December. And if it's Pedraza or Barbosa, I don't see how that's pay-per-view. Ain't now one of them pay-per-view, and Teofimo Lopez ain't no Gervonta Tank Davis to where he could get in the ring with a Pedraza or a fighter like Barbosa and do pay-per-view. He ain't on that level. So, I don't know what he was talking about with pay-per-view, because if y'all remember, he guaranteed everybody, I'll be back in December and I'll be headline pay-per-view.
Shit, not for Pedraza.
And then Pedraza just lose again?
He had a draw with Comey.
He got a draw with Richard Comey. Before that, he lost to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, he lost to Jose Ramirez, got a draw with Richard Comey. Mm-hmm. So why do I want to see Teofimo Lopez fight Pedraza? I don't want what like if Teofimo Lopez because you came to 140 talking all that shit. Now he said he wants to fight the best. I can't call that man a liar. But why are they putting him in with a Pedraza?
And like you got Jose Ramirez right there who coming off of that
Barbosa it's a better fight than Pedraza because we know what Pedraza is, bro. We know what he is already. I'm not saying that he's not a good fighter, but we know what he is. He a middle of the pack type of fighter. And nah, man, we don't want to see you in the ring with Pedraza.
And Jose Ramirez right there. There. He done had the wedding. He done had the wedding. I don't see
Jose Ramirez and Teofimo Lopez. That's a fight that I would pay to see. Fight. I don't want to see Pedraza.
Nobody want to see that shit.
Even Barbosa, you know, he still got an O on his record, but like I said, he's not even all that to me neither. And even Teofimo Lopez was like, I'm not fighting no Barbosa for what? I want tougher competition than that. So put him in the ring with Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez, he was supposed to fight, but he had to pull out because I think a wedding or something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, young Billy. At least Barbosa is undefeated, but you know the shit that Tio was talking. Put him in the ring with Ramirez. That's a much better fight.
Facts. And you got a front foot dominant fighter and a counter puncher. That's the fight that really tailored to you the most.
Right. Well, Ramirez. Well, who said this? Somebody said that Ramirez gonna wait for the winner between Zepeda and Regis. How long do you think he gonna sit out and wait for it?
Yeah, that'll be what, a year
since he fought. More than that. Shit, yeah, by the time that fight will come around.
And that'll be like his second layoff like that too. That'll be like his second or third big layoff like that.
Them dudes get to this level, they on some risk reward shit. He ain't trying to take no fight where he know he could lose to Teofimo when he got a title shot around the corner. These dudes be acting like hoes, man.
Shit, you gonna go into that fight with the winner with Regis? You gonna go into that fight with the winner of Regis and Zepeda off of what? A year layoff? You got to get him some time to make that fight. So now we looking at early 2023 for that fight because they not about to take that fight before December, and they just about to get them belts. Now we got to be realistic too. So that's more than a year, man. Jose will be tripping.
We know who getting that belt.
We know you was gonna catch the alley-oop.
I got Regis Prograde beating Zepeda, but that's gonna be a good fight because Zepeda could fight too. But I got Regis Prograde. I wouldn't be surprised if Regis stop him. But we might not even see that fight. You know what I'm saying? They having a lot of problems putting that fight on.
I thought they fighting next month.
Nah, they still trying to get a network and everything.
A network behind it.
And the whoever it was that won the purse bid, I think they had to back out. So it's the next man up. Yeah. They had to back out because they didn't have the backing behind them. They won the purse bid, but they didn't have the backing behind them. So, you know, hey, bro, we might not even see that fight.
That's why Keith said that when we announced that Marv Nation won the purse bid. I remember you saying that shit. Like, man, we don't really know about them.
I didn't even know who that company was.
Yeah, and it's just a mess that Regis got to go through all that bullshit, man.
Yeah, that's because he didn't sign. And he done fought on the Zone. He done fought on PBC. Nobody, they didn't sign him to a contract. That's crazy, bro.
So, but yeah, man, Teofimo, I'm looking forward to see what he do at 140. But like I said, man, from seeing him, they better move him very carefully at 140. Yep. They better move him, and I think that's exactly what Bob Arum and them gonna do. They gonna move him very carefully, and like G5 said, we ain't gonna see Tio fight no tough competition for a while. I believe it.
I'm with 5 on that one.
But let me switch it up real quick, right? and y'all hit the like button. I know it's a lot of y'all in here that ain't hit the like button. Hit the like button. I know it's easy to forget to hit the like. Shit, I do it sometimes too. But hit the like button. If y'all ain't hit the like button, everybody right now, do me a favor and hit the like button. Rick Timms, what's happening with it? Aisha, what's going on with it, Queen? So I'm gonna switch it up real quick. Cause salute to Blue Blood. If y'all, I know most of y'all probably heard the story, but if y'all ain't heard the story, let's talk about it. So Blue said that he ran into Terence Crawford at a gas station in New Jersey, right? Because Blue was down there covering the Shakur Stevenson fight. Of course, Bud was down there, and they ran into each other at the gas station at the 7-Eleven. And Blue said that, Crawford had some words for him. And basically, I'm not even finna get into all of that. But basically, Crawford wanted him to tell everybody that, look, Errol Spence's team is holding up the fight. I've agreed to everything on my term sheet, everything they wanted me to do, take less money, less percentage, the rematch clause, all of that shit. But Errol Spence, his team don't want to fight, and they're holding up the fight, right? It's nothing else I could do. They are holding up the fight, and his team don't want to fight. Now, he said clearly, from what Blue Blood said, he said clearly, like, I'm not saying it's Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence wants to fight, but his team don't want to fight. Now, to everybody on the motherfucking internet, that translated to Errol Spence don't want to fight. Errol Spence is scared. He holding up the fight. Errol Spence ain't signing his contract. He holding up the fight. Errol Spence. When Terence Crawford clearly, via Blue Blood, said that his team don't want to fight. Errol Spence is not holding up the fight. It's his team. Errol Spence wants to fight. That's what Terence Crawford said, right? Now, Blue Blood Blue Blood don't have no reason to lie. Blue Blood came on, he reported exactly what Terence Crawford said, and he knew that Terence Crawford was watching because Terence Crawford told him to do a live stream and report the shit, right? Now, man, you got other people saying that Terence Crawford he's full of shit, he's lying, and this, and that. Now, I'm not going to call Terence Crawford a liar. I believe what Terence Crawford is saying, that's what he truly believes. I believe that Terence Crawford has agreed to everything, right? But now we got to go to, what does he mean by Errol Spence's team? Well, that he didn't clarify, right? Because a lot of people say, okay, well, Errol Spence's team, Derrick James, he don't want to fight. Nah. So I think he should have clarified who he was talking about. PBC, Al Heyman, the networks don't want to fight. And it is some truth to what he was saying, in my opinion. And when I say that, when he says that Al Heyman, PBC don't want to fight, the networks don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. I've been telling y'all that for the longest. Errol Spence wants to fight. I'll continue to tell everybody, if it was not for Errol Spence, we wouldn't even be talking about this fight, right? If it wasn't for Errol Spence behind the scenes pressing for the fight to happen, it wouldn't even be talks about the fight, because the reason to why we even got this far is because of Errol Spence telling his team behind the scenes, this is the fight that I want, make it happen. I want all the belts, make it happen. Because they don't want to make it happen. They didn't want to make it happen. They told you why they didn't want to make it happen. And then once they start negotiating, other discrepancies came up. Daniel Kinahan's situation. Bud Crawford was working directly with Daniel Kinahan. I've said this on several different occasions. Bob Arum came and told it on him. Said, hey, Bud came to me and told me, look, this is who I'm working with. This is who's going to be managing me from right now. This is my team. It was Daniel Kinahan and his people. So that became a problem. When Al Haymon found that out, Al Haymon says, nah, we can't fuck with him, because if he getting money from Daniel Kinahan or is involved with him in any type of way, they can call the fight off at any given time. You see Tyson Fury and his team, they still can't come over to the U.S. because of that. They still can't come over to the U.S. That Daniel Kinahan shit is real. Like that, everybody that was involved with him, they ain't been in the ring. Josh Taylor, and we could go on and on. All the fighters that was involved with him, they haven't been in the ring. So Al Haymon said, look, in order for this shit to go down, we need to do an extensive investigation, and we need to find out if Daniel Kinahan has anything to do with Terence Crawford still to this day. Has Terence Crawford received any money from Daniel Kinahan? Mr. Dixon says, that kind of sounds like more excuses. You sound like, and you pretty much an idiot, real talk. You're an idiot and you don't know shit about nothing. That's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So Al Haymon didn't want to get involved with that shit, right? Also, you got Showtime and the networks, they looking at it like, okay, well, we taking a risk, we taking a chance on Terence Crawford because we got in-house fighters like Keith Thurman and whoever else. Shit, we might be able to make more money fucking with them because Terence Crawford ain't showed that, you know, he can do high pay-per-view numbers. So they're using all of that shit, you know what I'm saying, against Terence Crawford. They didn't want to make the fight. You think they gave a damn about doing business with Terence Crawford after Terence Crawford refused? He refused to do any business with Al Haymon. He had a choice. Go with Daniel Kinahan or come over here and do business with Al Haymon. You know what he said? You know what his team said? Fuck Al Haymon. Fuck the PBC. We don't want to fuck with them. We don't want to do no business with Al Haymon. You don't think Al Haymon know about that shit? So they didn't want to do business with Terence Crawford. So yeah, when Terence Crawford is saying his team don't want to really make the fight, he telling the truth. They don't. But they're getting pressed by Errol Spence to make the fight happen. He pressing them to make the fight happen. Does Terence Crawford want to fight? Yeah, he wants to fight. Both fighters want to fight. But it comes down to the politics. And they have that. I don't know what's going on with that Daniel Kinahan situation, but that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's another excuse, a valid excuse that they have on their end to not make the fight. Hey, Errol, we trying to make this fight for you, but it looks like that, you know, hey, man, he was doing some serious business with Daniel Kinahan. That's a valid excuse for them because they don't want to fuck with Bud anyway. When you got a fighter that is, I'm telling y'all how Al Haymon work. Andre Berto said it. Listen to the video that I made a long time ago, right? From Fred, when Fred Barbershop Conversations had Andre Berto on his show, he says, look, this is how Al Haymon does business. He makes it so everything is in his umbrella. His fighters don't have to go out of that umbrella. He gonna give them everything that they want in that umbrella. Any other fighters, he's gonna make it so that they have to come in to his umbrella to make the most money, to make all of the fights. And if you don't want to fuck with him, right? This is what Andre Berto is saying. Andre Berto is like that with Al Haymon. So he makes it to where if you don't want to fuck with him, you don't want to do business with him, you're refusing to do business with him, okay, cool. That's cool. Do your thing. But we ain't going to worry about you. Now, Terence Crawford is coming over. And remember, reports were saying that they were trying to get him to do a 2-fight, 3-fight deal. They was trying to get him to fight a Keith Thurman and then get him to fight Errol Spence. They were trying to sign him. He ain't want to sign with him. He ain't really want to do business. He want to do Errol Spence. a rematch, and that's it. They don't really do business like that. So it's a lot of reasons where when he says that their team, his team, don't want to make the fight, yeah, that shit is probably more than true. But Errol Spence wants to make the fight, and this is why we are talking about that they're getting close to negotiations. They close. They're getting closer and closer and closer. At the end of the day, they work for Errol Spence. So whatever they had to do, even if they got to make it look like they trying to make the fight happen, that's what they got to do for Errol Spence. So everybody talking about, oh man, Errol Spence is just scared. This shit don't have nothing to do with Errol Spence. But I'm gonna go down some of the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna let y'all cook. But let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I'm reading some of the comments. Hold on. Ty Swindle, what's happening with it? Jawill Murphy says, nobody trying to become a part of an ongoing criminal investigation. And yeah, like you don't want to put on a whole event. And I'm not making an excuse. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put on a whole event and then all of a sudden the event you know what I'm saying? The event is off and you done fucked up all this money because of some shit that one fighter is have involvement. And when we say that Daniel Kinahan, yeah, Terence Crawford wasn't doing nothing illegal, but anybody that was involved with him, hey, you got some money from him, they want to know where it came from. Todd Swindle says if PBC blocks EJ from getting undisputed, he should leave them. They don't have his best interest in part. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because he still get money. He that top guy over there. He that top dog. And hey, that's an excuse. That's a bad excuse because they could come to Errol and say, look, man, he had more involvement with Dan Kinahan than we thought, and we ain't gonna be able to put the fight on. And then if they do that, Errol Spence ain't gonna have no choice but to be like, man, I understand. Damn, it's fucked up, but I understand. It's business. Nunu said, you thought about the script all weekend. Come on, bro. You call this keeping it 100. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. You sound dumb as hell right now. Fuck is you talking about? But go ahead. Go ahead. You can't make sense to motherfuckers that don't have no sense.
Common sense ain't all that common.
I don't believe that. I don't believe what Terence Crawford said, and I'm gonna tell you why. Why would his team be the one to send over a fucking term sheet? And you gonna say Errol's shit gonna be squared away? I don't understand that. If Errol's team is the one sending a term sheet and you didn't sign the term sheet, how can Errol Spence be the one holding up the fight? That don't make sense. That's number one. That's like
he never said that Errol Spence was holding up the fight, coach. He said his team.
Well, his team. But who the fuck is his team? His team is Al Heyman. His team is his trainer and whoever his manager is, which I think is his dad. So I don't think that's
Espinoza included.
Yeah, but how Steven Espinoza included? I think this fight is being held up because of a bidding war, just like it was reported.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing that I did forget to add in, coach. And you're right. I think another thing in this fight is a bidding war between Fox and Showtime. It's a lot of things that's holding up this fight.
So it don't have nothing to do with Errol's team, because that's like me trying to get, if I send Keon a term sheet for me and him to go fight on the corner, and he signed a fucking term sheet, and I'm getting paid and he getting paid, fuck, I'm the one who sent the term sheet. That don't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense that I'm gonna send you a term sheet for you to sign and my shit already signed, because fuck, I'm the one sending the motherfucker to you. That don't make sense. So I don't see how his team is holding up the fight. And then another thing, Errol Spence sent Money Brown a text message, and he told him, don't listen to that nonsense that's on the internet. That's all nonsense.
Well, let me tell you real quick, because what Errol Spence interpreted, right, when he sent money that Errol Spence interpreted, right? Because see, Blue came out and Blue said exactly what Terence Crawford said. You dig what I'm saying? But what they did is they flipped what Blue Blood said. Like I said when I first started cooking on this situation, they flipped it and they said that Terence Crawford said that Errol Spence is holding up the fight. Terence Crawford didn't say that. He said that Errol Spence's team was holding up the fight. So that's what Errol Spence got, is that he's holding up the fight. He don't want the fight because that's what everybody ran off with, you know.
Right, but my whole point is, well, how is that possible? That doesn't make sense. If I'm sending the fucking terms to you, that means my shit squared away on my side because I want to make the fight. Or otherwise, I wouldn't send you shit. And then you could say, well, Errol Spence's team is holding up the fight. They won't even send me a term sheet or offer or nothing. They sent the shit, you signed it. It doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
Well,
because
Coach, it's two different contracts. It's two different terms, Coach. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, they don't have the same terms. Terence Crawford has this, and that. And Errol Spence's terms is way different than Terence Crawford's.
Yes, but the point is this. You're going to still know what the fucking percentages are when you fucking do those contracts.
Coach, what I'm telling you can't say what you're saying because Errol Spence came out and he says neither one of us has signed anything. So you can't say that, well, it ain't true what Terence Crawford is saying, or it don't have no truth to it because Errol Spence ain't signed his contract. He haven't signed anything either. So neither one of them have signed anything. So it's a reason why both haven't signed. Like he said that he agreed to all the term sheet. They haven't sent him a contract to sign yet, right?
You don't sign a contract like you don't do that.
They haven't.
They have to agree to the terms first.
Right, you gotta agree to the terms.
The contract can't be rolled up until you sure of the network either.
Yeah. So what we're saying. So let me explain it better. So Terence Crawford said he's agreed to all the terms. He never said that Errol Spence didn't agree to all the terms because Errol Spence could have agreed to all of the terms also. But they both fighters, right? Let's say this scenario. Both fighters seen the term sheets. I'm good on Terence Crawford's side. He's good. Errol Spence is good. But now we still at a standstill. This is where we at. Both fighters are good with the terms. They've agreed. Everything has been agreed to. But then now, okay, well, when is the fight gonna get announced? What's going on? Where's the actual contracts for us to sign on the dotted line for the fight date and all of that? That's where we at. So he's saying that everything been agreed to. What the fuck is the problem?
I would take that it's the suits, just as you alluded to.
Like what's the problem?
The legitimacy and them having to do their homework with Daniel Cunningham is our respected. You understand? But I would just allude to the fact that we also have to consider the networks. Yeah, I mean, these contracts can't come out until they agree on the network and the venue for them to hold this fight.
Sheena, I've been talking about the term sheet. Sheena, I'm gonna be.
She had a fight of this magnitude. Otherwise, you would send the contract regardless of what his involvement was.
Let me read this.
So now that's not true.
Let me read this real quick. Tina said, ain't nobody said nothing about a term sheet until I did. She says, now I'm going to see a video about it. Now I've been talking about a term sheet. Even behind the scenes, I've had this conversation weeks ago with Coach about the term sheet. I've been talking about that. But we're going to give you your props too, Sheena. You definitely get the props, Sheena. But yeah, I've been talking about a term sheet. I even mentioned that, all the terms have been agreed to in a video I did, It's just a term sheet and a contract. So the term sheet is, okay, this. Do we agree to everything? Yeah, we agreed to all the terms. Now, the next thing is waiting to get an actual contract. And from what he's saying is, and what Errol Spence is saying, ain't nobody signed no actual contract. Ain't nobody signed it because they ain't gave one. Ain't nobody signed shit.
They really don't. Most of the time, bro, they actually sign the contracts. Sometimes it be the night of the fight that they actually sign the contract.
Sometimes not for a fight of this magnitude, Coach.
No, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
This fight too big for that.
That's not true. They give them the contract, and they have their lawyers and everything go over their contracts. They do all of this shit, and then on the night of the fight and all of that shit, if your lawyer most of the time.
But you talking about arguably the biggest fight of the decade being signing the contract the night of the fight.
No, sometimes
that's that Don King shit.
No,
that's that Don King shit.
Bro, I'm telling you, just telling you how the shit go. I'm telling you.
Coach,
that's all I'm saying.
Coach. Yes, not sir. A pay-per-view event like this. They ain't nobody signing no contracts on the night of the fight, Coach. They're not doing
Coach.
That. I don't know where you're getting this from, but they're not doing that because, Coach, you're wrong on this one. You're wrong on this one. They're not signing no contract on the night of the fight. Coach, they're not signing no contract for no Errol Spence and Terence Crawford on the night of the fight.
All right,
to where one fighter could be like, you know what? Fuck it, I ain't signing it.
Yeah,
man. You got a motherfucking packed stadium or packed, and everybody that paid it, he ain't signing the cut. They're not doing that, man.
But I'm telling you like this. All I know is sometimes that shit happen, and sometimes I know one thing: the lawyer's gonna look at them fucking contracts first before they even do any fucking thing.
Well, yeah, of course, both lawyers are going to look over the contracts and all of that. Yeah. But the thing is, I think that it is
I think the network is holding up this fight. That's what I
think. I think it's Showtime.
It's the networks, and I think I think it's the networks. It's a whole lot of other things that could be holding up the fight. One could be the Daniel Kinahan situation. Another one could be the networks. You know what I'm saying? It's because from what we know is both fighters is cool with the contract with the terms. Both fighters didn't agree to everything. So what's the holdup? The holdup, it has to be something with
the suits, like OTV.
The suits. Yeah, something with the suits. That's it. And that's what Terence Crawford is doing. So this is what he's saying right now. How it's interpreted, what he's saying, it's like, oh, well, he's full of shit. But when you go back to what I said, I believe that he's telling the truth. Yeah, because when you talk about the networks and the suits, that is Errol Spence's team. That's who he works with. Hold on, coach. That is who he works with. Terence Crawford don't work with them. That's not his team. He don't have no network. He don't have no suits. He a walk-on. Terence Crawford is a walk-on. Errol Spence is the company man. You feel what I'm saying? So it's interpreted wrong. It's interpreted like, oh, Errol Spence's people, they don't want to make the fights. No, that don't have nothing to do with Errol Spence. It's bigger and it's higher than Errol Spence. It's his network or the networks that he worked with. In the higher ups that he works with that have to put on the event.
What network is Errol signed to?
He is signed to PBC. PBC, he can either fight on Showtime or Fox.
I thought he was signed with.
And PBC ain't had no Fox deal. They ain't had no Fox fights.
Errol Spence ain't signed exclusively to Showtime. He signed with PBC, so he can fight. He can have pay-per-views on Fox or Showtime. That's why it's a bidding war for the fight because Showtime won it and Fox won it. Now you have Steven Espinoza. He was at the forefront of shit, like, you know, basically making it seem like that Showtime was the only ones in the running, and then Fox came in, and Fox got more money. Fox got more money than Showtime.
More exposure.
So when you go back to saying that Terence Crawford is saying that Errol Spence's team is holding it up, well, he's true, but he's not telling the whole story. That's the problem.
Right.
He's not breaking down what he means by Errol Spence's team because everybody's going to interpret that as, well, Errol Spence and his people don't want to fight, but that's not the case. So is he going to interpret it Is he gonna interpret it like that? No, he ain't, because that doesn't suit him. It don't suit him to come and break this shit down like we doing. That's why we here, to break it down for people that might not understand what that means. Right. But you got certain people that's gonna be like, okay, now it makes sense. Now I understand. But then you got other people that just want to blame it on Errol Spence, and they going, oh, you're making excuses. Oh, you thought of this the whole weekend to think it, right? Fuck, I'm gonna sit up the whole weekend when I got kids running around. I got my son, I can't even keep up with him myself, and I'm thinking about fucking what I'm gonna make up to say on the live stream.
Come on, man. We just had homecoming weekend. I just sent my son to homecoming.
Like, come on, bro. Like I'm thinking of lie to come up for Errol Spence. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Bro, it's already been reported. That ain't
like right. He's telling me I'm coming in here capping, and this shit been reported.
Yeah,
like you say, man, most people just don't know shit about boxing.
It was having a bidding war. That's been reported, actually been reported. So if somebody say that, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Point blank and period.
Well, my only thing with that, y'all, is that Fox ain't had no damn fights all year. Y'all ain't had one fight on Fox.
But they supposed to be. Well, they have had fight. I think they've had but they had no pay-per-view card. I think they might have had no
cards, bro.
They had Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman was on Fox early the year. They had a couple, but they ain't really did nothing like that. But Sheena says, right? Sheena says it's a lie if Bud doesn't tell the whole truth. Yeah, it's like, okay,
exactly.
It's like right. Coach hit me, and like, okay, well, I just said that Coach came up and punched me in my motherfucking mouth. But then I ain't tell the rest of the story. I ain't tell you that I went and punched him in his shit first. You see what I'm saying? So that's what Bud is doing. He's telling, right, the story, but he ain't telling the whole story, right? So it makes his side look great, and it makes Errol Spence look like he's ducking. But it's not. But so he's telling the truth, but he ain't telling the whole story. You know.
Yeah, Ortiz versus Martin, Thurman versus Barrios.
And they had Wilder Fury.
Yeah. But that was in 2021.
Yeah, that's 2021.
OTB was saying that they didn't have any fights in 2022, and I was saying they had two. Thurman and Barrios fought in February.
Yeah, that's what Key was saying.
And Martin fought in January. So they had
he did.
Fight, and that's it.
Yeah,
they're gonna have the Wilder Helenius fight too on Fox.
Right.
Exactly. They have Wilder Helenius. Also, I think a lot of those fights Fox didn't really want to fuck with because they're looking at it like they ain't really that big. But now it's a fight like this.
Oh yeah, they want pieces. This fight. Yeah, now they want parts. And that was my thing. Like shit, y'all ain't been consistent with things.
Yeah, Wilder and Helenius, that's Wilder comeback, so that's a big fight for Wilder, you know. And Fox got that bread, son. You know, so it's a bidding war that's going on that's causing all of this issue. They need to fucking get this shit over and announce this fight because November is gonna be here fucking a month. I mean, fuck, it's almost the end of this month.
And if Fox don't get this fight, why don't y'all, goddamn it, try and invest in a fighter like a Gary Antoine Russell, who y'all can goddamn it debut during football season, and y'all can really put him on the stage? Why don't y'all try investing in a fighter like a Subriel Matias, who capable of being on that stage? Just fighters, if y'all don't get this fight, that y'all can invest in and can really provide a market in boxing for y'all.
And Gary Antoine Russell is a hell of a fighter. Speak well, can speak. Even his brother Antonio, but you gotta blame them for a lot of that shit, bro, because they won't do interviews. They won't do interviews.
You're right, too.
They won't, you know what I'm saying? Like Batman was trying to get him to come on here. I'll try to get him to come on here, and they won't.
Right, jump in the video.
You know what I'm saying? And they. A lot of that shit is gonna hurt them in the end, bro. It's gonna hurt them in the end because, hey, this is a new day and age. You can't just fight shut up, don't say nothing, and then fight again when you know what I'm saying, be quiet, be mute until it's time for you to fight again. Do a couple interviews, you know what I'm saying, during fight week and then disappear. You can't do that, bro, because especially if you got talent and you dangerous, if you're dangerous but they can't market you, they're gonna figure out every way they can to sit you on the shelf because these other fighters ain't gonna want to fight you.
And they not you gotta maintain your marketability.
Who Matias lost to? I know he lost one fight, didn't he?
I don't know. I thought he
lose one fight. He lost one fight, I believe. I don't. It must have been early in his career.
I'm about to look, Coach.
And everybody trying to. I want to say this, man. Once again, everybody running around acting like Blue Blood is told a lie. Oh man, yeah, right. Like Bud had talked to Blue Blood and like that. Like, man, that grown ass man don't have no reason to make a live stream and make up a story that he talked to Bud at a 7-Eleven. Like, yeah, some of y'all might do that shit. But Blue Blood ain't that type of dude that's just gonna lie about talking to Bud Crawford at a 7-Eleven and sit here and make up some shit. He don't have to do that. Like, as big as Blue's platform is, what make y'all think that he has to do that shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That shit weird.
Come on, man.
That shit weird.
Shit weird, man. Yeah, like, it is what it is, bro. And you got Terence Crawford fans that's saying he's lying. You got Errol Spence fans that's saying he's lying for two different reasons. But like, that man ain't got no reason to lie.
And my thing, when you say common sense ain't all that common, is he say it plain as day. His team. When the person say the team, and we know how many different hands is a part of this fight, then y'all just being unrealistic and putting y'all own narrative on it as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Knockout.
What's happening with you, man?
What up, bro?
Go ahead, Coach. What you say, Coach?
What's your take on it?
To be honest with you, OTB, I don't care about none of that shit. I really don't, bro. I just want to see the fucking fight, bro. I could care less about what's going on. Bro, I just waiting for this shit to get announced. That's it. I could care less who holding up this, who holding up that, bro. I just want to see the fight. I could care less what the suit say. I could give a fuck what Terence Crawford say. I could care less what Errol Spence say. Either one of them. I could care less. Long as we get this fucking fight, that's it. I could care less about the rest of this shit. Go ahead.
Well, the only reason I'm talking about it and care about it is because we gonna want to know what reason is holding up the fight, right? Why they haven't announced the fight yet? People want to know these things. What's the problem? Because you got people waiting to, get plane tickets and to get hotels and all of that shit. You have people waiting and anticipating, and people want to know what the fuck is the holdup? What is the problem? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do care because this is a fight that everybody is on the edge of their seats waiting for. And this could be some of the reasons why it might fall through. But knockout, what's happening with it?
Man, look, bro, what's up with you, man? Appreciate you having me back on. So y'all talking about this whole Errol Spence, Terence Crawford done signed the contract, and his team saying he signed it, but now Errol ain't signed it. No. What y'all cooking on?
No. Nobody said no. We said that neither one of them has signed a contract.
Okay,
yeah. Agreed to the terms, and as far as we know, Errol Spence agreed to the terms.
Okay.
Nobody signed nothing. Yeah. But
okay. That's what his team and shit was saying. So I didn't know. I just came right back in. But yeah, bro. Like at the end of the day, I'm with you. Like I don't really care. I just want to see the fight. But what makes me care is if I'm not getting what I want to be able to put a finger on why I'm not getting what I want. So that's why I want to talk about it. That's why I want to know what's going on and things of that nature. Because it's like, bro, like at the end of the day, either we're gonna get this shit or we're not gonna get this shit, and we're gonna have to talk about why we didn't get it. And so I want to be informed so I can give whoever the right smoke. I'm with Coach too, though, to where it's like, bro, I don't even care. I just want to see the fight. I want to know what's going on. Well, for me, bro, I want to know if I don't get what I want after talking about this shit for so long and basically giving the fight free fucking promotion, by spending all my time and shit, all the live streams, all the videos, going back and forth with people and shit like that. If I don't get what I want after all of that shit, bro, then I want to know why, dog. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I want to know why. I want to know who fault it is. If it's Earl, if it's Bud, whoever it is, I want to get him all that smoking shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just like to this notion. I know y'all wasn't talking about it, but I do want to bring it to the table. To this notion that somehow Bud Crawford apparently supposed to have signed shit and agreed to everything, and now Errol Spence is the hold up. Just to speak on that real quick, bro, what people are trying to say and talking about, like, when you say common sense ain't common, I need people to understand some shit. What you're basically saying is that Al Heyman sent Bud Crawford a damn offer without his own fighter agreeing to it first. That shit don't happen, bro. There's no way that Al Heyman is gonna send some shit to Terence Crawford, get Terence Crawford to agree to it, but he didn't check to make sure that everything was okay with Earl first, bro. Earl is his fighter. Earl is the one that signed to the PBC before Bud Crawford. He gonna be signed to the ass after Bud Crawford and shit. So that it don't make no sense, bro. You like the A side has to agree. Like the A side has to agree to the shit before they send it off, bro. Like how Bud wouldn't have anything to sign. He wouldn't have shit to agree to if Earl didn't agree to it first, bro. Because they gonna check with Earl before sending that shit, bro.
Let me stop you real quick, Knockout. Cause I know you was doing what
you
was busy, bro. You was busy and you didn't really hear what we cooked about, right? We already addressed that. But that's not the case. That's not the case. That's not what we're saying. We're saying, right, because a lot of people misconstrued, right, and flipped around what Blue Blood said. Blue Blood said that Bud Crawford says that I have agreed to everything, all the terms. Errol Spence, his team is holding up the fight, not Errol Spence. Errol Spence wants to fight. It's his team that's holding up the fight. So people automatically ran off and, Errol Spence is holding up the fight. They don't want to fight this, and that. Right now, what Bud was saying, right, as far as we know, he agreed. He didn't sign anything because he told Blue, I haven't signed anything. I haven't signed no contract. I just agreed to all of the terms that they're giving me. It's nothing more that I can do, right? Meaning I'm still waiting on a contract to come my way. Also, Errol Spence, right? He probably agreed to everything also. Now, the reason he's saying that it's his team is because, of course, Terence Crawford is a free agent. He's a man without a home. So he's going over and fucking with the PBC. So basically, that can interpret that we both waiting, but it ain't no contracts been, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no fight date. Yeah. Ain't no venue. Ain't no contracts been given out. So what's the problem? It's his team. His team don't want to make the fight because they ain't moved forward. So that's what he's saying. So he never said that Errol Spence was holding up the fight, that Errol Spence didn't agree to his terms also. So that's the thing. People just flipped what Blue Blood said. Blue Blood said exactly what he said, and he said, no, it ain't Errol Spence. It's not Errol Spence. But when you get to listening to all these dudes on YouTube, they beat and flipped around what the fuck you done said a million times, and now it comes out that Terence Crawford said it was Errol Spence, and Errol Spence and his team don't want to fight, and that's not what he said.
Nah, so, and I'm talking about what Bernie and them have been saying, bro. But either way, agree to some shit. Like there's like all these words they try to use, bro. Like that shit be making me mad because it's like, what does agree mean? I can agree right now that I'm gonna give you $1,000, but if I don't act on the shit, then what's me agreeing to it got to do with anything? So I like, bro, at the end of the day, I just want to see the fight, bro. And Vote Majesty, that ain't how Al do business, bro. That's how anybody do business. If I'm sending you something, Vote, if I'm sending you an offer, if I'm sending you some paperwork, don't I have to agree to the paperwork that I'm sending you, bro? Like, why would I send you some shit that I don't agree to, Vote? That's common sense. That ain't how Al do business. It's how contracts are done, bro. Like that's how basic common sense works, bro. Like it ain't about all that extra shit, bro, about knowing how somebody do business. I'm not gonna send you some shit that I don't already agree to. Al is not gonna send anybody anything that his fighter don't already agree to, bro. That shit that's common sense, bro.
So this is the thing, Knockout, right? This is the thing. It's more to it than that. He's agreed. They give him a term sheet. Okay, bam, bam. Okay, cool. We agreed to everything, right? Now, it ain't his fault if they haven't gave him an actual contract yet to sign, and he's waiting, and Errol Spence is waiting, because you got different things. You got that Daniel Kinahan situation, right? That could be a problem. Now, you got both networks that's vying for the fight. You got Showtime and Fox. So Terence Crawford, to me, he's telling the truth. He's just not telling everything that's involved in the truth. He's just leaving it like, oh, yeah, well, you know, they holding up the fight. I agree to everything. It ain't Errol Spence. He wants to fight. I want to fight. But, you know, what's the problem? What else can I do? I agree to everything. He's not telling everything else that he knows. He probably know that now it's the networks holding up the fight. But the networks to him is Errol Spence's team, because we know that Fox and Showtime both want this fight. We know the reports that came out with what's his name said that, hey, Daniel Kinahan was a factor in this situation, right? We heard dudes say that, hey, Al Heyman wants to make sure that Daniel Kinahan don't have no involvement anymore with Bud Crawford. We don't know what happened when, you know what I'm saying, with that.
No,
so
I ain't coming at nothing. I ain't coming at nothing you said, bro. I don't disagree with you. Just me, when somebody like Bud Crawford, who has contradicted himself, and it's so easy to poke holes in everything throughout these past 2 or 3 years, I am just inclined not to believe him, bro. I just don't believe none of that shit, bro. Like, I don't believe nothing that he's talking about until it's showed to me, because he has showed me a track record of flipping and flopping and changing his mind, and one thing is this, and the next day is that and shit. I can't do that shit, bro. Like, I don't fucking trust him, bro. So I'm rocking with what Earl said, and Earl said his shit done, and he said that the fight is happening, and so that's what I'm going off of, bro. And until proven otherwise, I ain't listening to nothing to Terence, his team, his little quasi YouTube channel minion and all that shit, bro. They all full of shit. I'm not trusting none of that shit, bro, at all, dog.
And you got a point when you know what I'm saying, like the boy who cried wolf. So that's basically what you saying. The boy who cried wolf. You didn't lie and you didn't contradicted yourself so much. Even if you are telling the truth this time, I'm not inclined to believe you, because you didn't tell so many lies and contradicted yourself so many times.
Stand.
That's what Knockout is pretty much saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. With that. That's exactly, and shout out to Blue. Like, I know if he's saying somebody told him some shit, this ain't in Blue in no way. Like, that's what the dude told him, and he ain't gonna lie about that shit. So it ain't him. I just don't believe Bud Crawford or his team, because this is the same. They the same people that, like, even Bomac right now. Now he all respectful and shit. Now Errol Spence is a special fighter and shit. Now he's special and he know he coming and all this shit. But I thought a drunk wasn't shit, bro. Right, I thought it was basic, and I thought y'all were gonna fuck him up and shit. Like, what happened to all that shit, bro? Like, I don't be listening to them dudes like that, man. They lie and contradict themselves too much, dog.
So we in November the 20th. We basically in October almost, right?
Hell yeah.
So you mean to tell me you know what I'm saying? If this weekend, what is October? This weekend, October. So you don't get an announcement this week. You head into next week. You mean that you're gonna announce the fight, motherfucking a month and a half before the fight happens?
6 weeks.
6 weeks before the fight happened, and then expect everybody to break their fucking neck and fly in and pay all this money and get, you know, flights and hotels and rooms, and you know what I'm saying? You expect everybody to do all that shit on the fucking Black Friday is right there. Next, what a week out. Thanksgiving a week out. Then you got Christmas and everything coming. Like, you expect everybody to do that
within 2 weeks of that.
It's the problem that is going on to why they haven't announced this fight. It is. Y'all, they would have been announced this fight already. I'm telling y'all. They having problems behind the scenes. Travis Bryan says the hate for Bud is real. What the fuck have I said on here? Hating on Bud.
Ain't nobody hating on, bro.
Oh, I didn't hear nothing.
Everything that was said was factual. Shit, it ain't like
OTP is a Bud.
Yeah,
fan.
and I'm a Bud fan, bro. But you can't argue with the facts. Shit, he do retract his statements a lot. You understand? He has made bad business decisions. He has told us one thing and did another. So, shit, that's how accurate. You can't knock that. I don't feel like, you understand,
now,
like
I'm not
there was no cap in what
like,
he's saying.
Everybody have their own personal opinion, right?
Facts.
Or they gonna believe what they gonna believe, right? I said clearly I believe what Bud is saying, but he's just not saying the whole. He's telling you the story, but he ain't telling you the whole story.
Facts, because you're not putting no context in it.
He's leaving a lot of important shit out of the story because just saying that, look, Errol Spence, I believe Errol Spence wants to fight. It ain't Errol Spence, but his team is holding up to fight. His team don't want to fight. Well, then, if I'm right, I'm going to ask the question, what do you mean by that?
Exactly, and you can say
why his team don't want to fight. What's going on? I need to know more.
But you could say fuck Al Heyman. I ain't never working with Al Heyman. You can name drop when you saying fuck somebody, but you can't name drop and give us no context into the statement that you making.
Right.
You're right about that, OTB. And the thing is, all he had to do was like, man, the fight gonna happen, but the networks is trying to work it out. That's all he had to say.
Facts. We would have took that and ran with it. Right. We would have had a whole different context of today's show.
You shouldn't have said nothing about Errol Spence team and all that. You should have said, man, the networks are working it out, bro. And then, the fight gonna happen.
And that's the holdup. The holdup, the higher, or he could have just been like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? The dudes involved, the higher ups, they holding the fight up. That's the holdup. The fighters, we ready to fight, and they holding the fight up. But see, he wanted to insinuate like it was Errol Spence and his people when, you know what I'm saying, it's not. And he did say it ain't Errol Spence, but it's his team. Now, his team could be his trainer. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. People gonna run with that shit when you don't say clearly what you mean. But like I said, I believe what he's saying. I just know how to use common sense and look to it and dig in it deeper. You know what I'm saying? I know how to dig in it deeper.
And we smart enough to know the business of the situation at hand. You understand? So
yeah, but when you tell Blue Blood to go back and report that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what he told him. Bro, then you need to tell the whole truth, bro, instead of fucking just leaving the shit like that.
Well, you gotta remember too.
Just to try to make that fucking man look bad, bro. And that's fucked up for doing that, bro.
And I don't think that the intentions was pointed towards Errol Spence, which is why he said his team. The intentions was pointed towards the people that I believe, you understand, the people that we ended up coming up with, which was the networks, you understand? But this is somebody who knew to making himself available to the media. So him being detailed within the context of these type of statements is something that he's obviously going to have to learn, given the past history that he's had already, which I'm cool with, you understand? But I also can understand where y'all coming from in the sense that, hey, you got to put some context on what you're saying. You can't just make a statement. You can't walk past the bus stop and say, I'm going to fuck everybody up. And then, goddamn it, when everybody say who you talking to.
I think that he knew exactly what he was doing, right? So the thing is, he didn't want to come out and just flat out tell a lie and say when he knows that it ain't got nothing to do with Errol Spence. So he had to clear that up. But I think he knew exactly what he was saying when he said, well, let him know that it's Errol's team, right? Because a lot of people been putting pressure on Terence Crawford and saying Terence Crawford is the holdup. So he knew exactly what he was doing and how people was going to interpret that, right? He knew exactly what he was saying. Terence Crawford ain't no damn idiot. He ain't a dummy. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how to say it, how to word the shit. And although, right, he did, once again, he let it be known that it wasn't Errol Spence, but he knows when Blue Blood came back and said it, how he said it, that everybody that already want to blame Errol Spence was going to be able to run off and blame it. Oh, yeah. They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. He knew what he was saying, and he knew how to say it. He didn't have no intentions of explaining or digging into it deeper. You know, saying it's the networks. He didn't want to say none of that shit.
The whole point of it, Keon, is for him to get the fucking weight off his shoulders and saying that Bud ain't doing this and Bud ain't. He could have said, you know what? I did everything that I was supposed to do. I agreed to all their terms. Now, the fight is being held up. If he didn't know, he could have said, I'm not holding up the fight. Errol Spence not holding up the fight. It's the suits that's holding up the fight.
Right.
We just waiting. He could have cleared that shit up, but he did that shit intentionally to cause. Why do that? Well, my point is, in knowing that Blue Blood is going to report this shit, why do that? Why not make the shit right? For what? What's the point of it? What's the point? Just to be petty? Just to be petty?
To be petty at the people that's saying that he was the hold up the whole time. Now he want to stick it in their face like, oh,
right.
yeah.
And that's about controlling the narrative, which we've always knew was important.
Yeah, it's controlling the narrative. Who, you know what I'm saying? They control the narrative at ESPN the whole time with Bud, saying he was a boogeyman. Errol Spence didn't want to fight him. Errol Spence was afraid of him. Errol Spence wouldn't fight him for no type of money. It's the narrative. That's all that shit is.
And my only thing with that is you've done enough in your career to where if we get this fight, you ain't got to worry about a narrative that don't exclude your legacy. So you understand? Give us what the hell we want so we can put you where you're supposed to be. Right.
But the thing is, OT,
and let me read this super chat real quick, Coach. Coach, let me read the super chat and I'm gonna let you cook on. My man Martin McLean says, Bud know exactly what he was doing when he pushed up on Blue. He used the man's platform to shape public opinion with their narrative pushing ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. Like I said, I'm not gonna say that he was what he was saying was a lie, but he know that it was a lot more to what he said than what, you know what I'm saying, he said.
Facts.
It was
and we can't say that he
outs and ends to the story. But go ahead,
and we can't say that he used that man's platform when we can all rightfully agree that the terms didn't benefit him. You understand? He did sign the terms when they didn't benefit him. So, given the context of that, yeah, but you also gotta admit like to the facts.
He shouldn't have said nothing about Errol Spence's team. He should have just said, "Listen, it's in the hands of the suits." Errol didn't say, because you never hear Errol talk bad about Bud. Never. You know what I'm saying?
You start screwing,
chopping and screwing. Coach,
chopping
you
and
cutting
screwing,
out.
Coach.
You say, what you say, chopped and screwed?
Man, you chopped and screwed, Coach. We know you in Nolans.
You done, Coach? Yo, hey, Coach, your service is done for right now.
Mike
you in
Watts.
a bad area. We ain't gonna get that out of Coach.
You know I'm driving to Houston.
Yeah, I know. Now we can hear you again.
Now we see why you chopped and screwed.
Yeah. So, you know, the thing is, bro, why do that? You never hear Errol Spence talk bad about Bud Crawford. Why even do that narrative just to get the heat off your ass like it really matters what people say? That's a person who cares about what the public's saying about him. I wouldn't give a fuck when I'm rich, bitch. I'll be like Dave Chappelle. I'm rich, bitch. I could give a fuck what you niggas think about me or none of that shit. I'm gonna fucking fight Errol Spence and we gonna see who the best. Point blank, period. All of this doing some shit like that, knowing that that's gonna get reported and then all this bullshit gonna fall on Errol. But you can tell the difference with the mindset. Errol Spence don't even respond to foolishness, bro. He don't even respond to it. He like, whatever. I'm about to whip this nigga ass. That's it. That's his mindset. And he in the fucking gym training his ass off, just like Bud training. But to do that, that's just being petty and silly, bro. Why not clear the shit up so that, you know, Errol Spence is a man, you a man, bro. It's a boxing match. We're gonna find out who the best. We both agreed, and now it's in the hands of the suits. That's all he had to say.
Well, and I'm gonna throw another monkey wrench in because I seen an interview where he told dude, just don't ask me about the Spence fight. So if you telling one reporter don't ask you about it, then you push up on Blue at the gas station with a direct message for him to send. Ah man, that's why I say, y'all, that's the friend that's tough to defend, boy.
Now, see, this is the thing, right? And I'm glad you brought that up, right? So you supposed to know all this information, right? You talk to Blue Blood off record, right? You know all this information, and you telling Blue to what you need to do is you need to say this, and that, and go report that so the people will know. But then you have a chance, you have a camera in front of your face this weekend to let everybody know, to let the whole world know from your own mouth, not from Bernie's mouth, not telling Blue Blood to go report some shit on his channel. You have a camera in your face, and you have a chance to tell everybody what it is. And you tell him, yeah, first you was an asshole. You told him you ain't doing no motherfucking interviews. And then you thought about it because you knew it was a huge platform and everybody was going to see how big of an asshole you was acting to that dude for no reason. And then you thought about it and said, okay, matter of fact, yeah, I'll do an interview. But don't ask me nothing about the fight. Bro, that was your chance to let everybody know your truth. So when people say that they don't believe shit that you're saying, you can't really be mad because you had a chance to tell everybody directly. Look, this is what, for everybody that want to know,
out the horse's
this is
mouth.
what's going on with the situation. But you ain't want to do that. Huh. And so that's why it's hard to defend. It's hard to defend that type of shit.
Facts, bro. That's a tough friend to defend, boy.
It's hard, you know what I'm saying? That's just like bro, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You have right there was your turn, and you choose to tell him, don't ask you nothing about the fight.
Right. Where you tell.
Have you ever heard Errol Spence tell anybody, don't ask me nothing about the fight?
And not only that, bro, but to tell him that and to put a specific message on Blue Blood's platform really, yeah, I mean, indirectly points towards the fact that you was using that platform to push a narrative. We ain't gonna not admit, you understand? If some shit right in our face, what we gonna say? We don't see it? Shit, look like a duck, quack like a duck. It ain't a goose.
Well, John Turner, you can't say that. You can't say what, right? It's obvious he can't say anything in front of a camera. He's contractually bound. Well, if you can't say nothing about the fight, why are you telling Bernie to say this, and that, and tell him that it came from Bud? And why are you telling Blue Blood, as big as his motherfucking platform is, knowing everybody gonna hear it, say, tell him I said this and it came from me, and go report this, and that? You don't think Al Heyman and them gonna find that out?
That's the contradictive narrative. Yeah, that's the contradiction in narrative, man. So, Joan, as much as when I digress this situation, I looked at it from
as hell. Hey, Sheena been on Bud helmet.
Man, boy, Sheena, let him take your foot off his neck, Debo.
Hey, Sheena on his helmet. She said that's what liars do. He says they won't. She says they won't talk if they can't think of a lie fast enough. Hey, Sheena on Bud helmet.
I don't know about the context of just saying that he lied, man, but you definitely had some purpose in the way you pushed that narrative. You understand? And you neglecting to say exactly where your statement was context to. Shit, I can't even fight that. Hell.
All right, Swat Jones, what's happening with it? Salute. He said on Fight Hype, Bud looks like looks like Ike Turner after a Tina Turner concert with Fight Hype. He says 2 days ago with EJ with the EJ question. Look, he said look like Ike Turner after a Tina Turner concert.
Hey, OTB.
I did think it was highly unprofessional to show up to the fight in a jogging suit.
OTB.
Like, nigga, what's up, Queen? My bad.
OTB.
My bad, Queen. Go ahead, shoot.
I wanted to tell you that I have a whole lot of respect for you because although I know you are a Bud fan, you will call a spade 100% across the board. And I appreciate you for that.
Hey, I appreciate you, Queen, man. Y'all Flyers mean the most because they come out the garden, but we gonna always keep it solid, man.
Yeah, bro, you that's one thing about him. He pulled for Bud in the ring, but the shit he pulled, he gonna call that shit too. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, like KC say, I call balls and strikes. For real, he don't call balls and strikes.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all though, if I had all the tools that I got, I can't. Yeah, Don Dada, I am a Bud fan. Come on, man, quit sliding me too, Don Dada, man. We just gonna call a duck. We ain't gonna call it a goose. But shit, if I had all the tools that bruh have in the ring, man, I'd be talking cash money shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Bruh can fight off the front foot, back foot, both styles. Man, I'd be talking cash money shit out here. Y'all be tired of seeing OTB face.
Hey, man, it's just the thing is, man, all in all, I don't know, man. I like real talk. The hold up for this fight, I don't know if we're going to get this fight this year. Like I said, you look at the time, and you going to mean to tell me they going to announce this shit with 6 weeks and expect everybody to break their neck and spend all this money? I don't know, man. I don't know.
And Joe, I'm going to always be a Bud fan, man, but we got to start to call strikes. You understand? Like bro just said, man, we got to call a duck. We got to quit making that shit a goose. And when fighters and people do stuff, regardless of how much we like them, we got to hold their feet to the fire because it's a whole nother class of fighters who coming up, who marketing themselves, who, you understand, putting themselves in these type of positions to where we going to hold them to the same accountability. So why wouldn't we hold the present?
See what they see fan to a lot of these people, right? A lot of boxing heads fan is you got a fighter that you like, or fighters that you like, and those fighters can do no wrong. Even if you know they done contradicted themselves or said some bullshit or did something wrong, you still can't say it, right? You got to argue for them 150% of the time. That's being a fan to them. They don't understand when
I agree,
you keep it straight. They don't understand when you keep it straight down the middle. When you keep it 100, oh man, you ain't no fan of him. You ain't no fan of him. A fan, to be a real fan, you got to be like Money Brown do with Canelo and Tank Davis. That's that equal fan to them.
Yeah, man, that ain't it, y'all.
You know where that come from, huh? The word fan comes from fanatic. That's what it comes from. So
right.
You got to understand. Hey, did y'all see what Teddy Atlas said? Teddy Atlas and Roy Jones said about Money Brown Man. Y'all heard about that?
Yeah, I seen that shit.
Well, let me answer this question real quick. Let me see. John Turner says, when do you hold Errol's feet to the fire? I never seen that on this channel. Name me something that he didn't did or somebody he didn't duck for me to have to hold his feet to the fire. When he get to moving funny and he ducks somebody, you know what I'm saying? He get to moving different, then I'm going to hold his feet to the fire. And I ain't going to have no problem doing it.
Facts.
I held his feet to the fire. Actually, I did hold his feet to the fire when I said that, right? He didn't have no right to be telling Keith Thurman that he wasn't going to fight him because Keith Thurman, because he said that Keith Thurman didn't give him no chance of ducking him when Sean Porter and motherfucking Danny Garcia was doing the same. Hold on. When Sean Porter and Danny Garcia was doing the same thing at the same time. I held his feet to the fire then. Did nobody want to say nothing then, though?
And when he wasn't dedicated to the sport as well, because we know about the beginning portion of his career when he wasn't as dedicated.
When I talk about how he was, fucking up outside the ring, how he looked like a shell of himself, like his body looked like a shell of himself when he faced Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter. Nobody say nothing then.
Facts.
So, yeah, I held his feet to the fire when it's needed, but I've never had to hold his feet to the fire talking about him ducking somebody because he's never has, or talking about him contradicting himself and telling lies because he's never done that. He ain't never did that. Now, if he start doing that shit, then you gonna see me hold his feet to the fire just like everybody else.
See everybody. That's right.
Facts. And that's what we here for.
When
I ain't even gonna hold y'all.
When he was out there in the streets, and you saw him at the fights, drunk and shit, and all fat and shit.
Hanging with AB.
Right. He got to see his feet.
Jones says, wait, are you saying Bud is ducking Errol? When did I ever say anything about Bud ducking Errol? How did you interpret that as Bud ducking Errol?
Come on, John. Help me out a little bit, baby. Help me out a little bit, Bud fans.
Man, I don't understand how people don't understand English. If you was here from the beginning, then you see that we never said Bud is ducking anyone. We said Bud say he agrees to all the terms. He's ready to fight. We never said that. Never, not one time did we say Bud Crawford was ducking Errol Spence. Not once.
Those motherfuckers that you call fanatical. I mean, call it 100. You can
That's
be a
what it is,
fan
man.
and still do what it's supposed to be.
Preach, Queen.
I'm not no fucking fanatic of no fighter. None.
Man, I love the sport too much.
I got a fighter that I respect more than any other fighters, and that's Deontay Wilder for the man that he is outside of the ring. I'm not a fanatic of no fighter because I'm a boxing fan. Once you are a real boxing fan or become a real boxing fan, all that other shit you put aside. You can't be a fanatic of one fighter. You just can't.
Right.
You can't be a fanatic of a fighter if you're a real boxing fan.
And when you do, they start moving crazy. And that tests your fandom.
Because you know what you're gonna do, and me and Coach have talked about this.
Just like the second you tell a person you love them. Second you tell a girl you love them.
If you become a fanatic of a fighter, it's gonna be some point in time that comes up to where you ain't gonna want to see the best fight happen. Facts. Because that fighter is involved in it, and you don't want to see that fighter step in the ring with this other opponent because you know that fighter has a possibility of losing that fight.
Yep.
But
that's when you're a fanatic of a fighter.
But what kind of fan are you if you have that much respect for your fighter and he's doing the sport and you love the sport of boxing, if you don't hold him accountable, you a fuck ass fan.
Right. You a fanatic though. The fanatics don't hold nothing accountable. They don't give a fuck who he fight. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you a woman, you shouldn't be a fanatic of no boxer. I'm sorry. Only women can be fanatics, y'all. Like this shit is getting out of hand.
And you're right, because I know women that are fanatics of Errol Spence and fanatics of some of these fighters, but that's women. Those are women characteristics. That's what they like. Because they looking at him like that. Women. Oh, that's my man. I don't want to see my man lose to nobody. Shit.
Yeah. So you don't get. That's why the fighters y'all know that I respect are the fighters that want to fight the best. I can care if I got a fighter that I like. I say, okay, I like this motherfucker. And that motherfucker, he want to fight everybody. He not out here lying. That motherfucker trying to make these big fights. Dude, I'm going to rock with him till the wheels fall off. That's why I respect Benavidez. That's why I respect Devin Haney. That's why I like Errol Spence. They ain't lying. The motherfuckers really want that smoke with everybody, and they show that they want to smoke with everybody. So that's the kind of fighters I like. And I'm going to rock with them dudes till the wheels fall off. That's it. But if you moving funny, I'm gonna fucking talk shit about you, and you gonna lose me as a fan because I don't sit here and fucking be fanatical over no motherfucking another gonna happen. I love boxing, and it's just like every other sport. I want to see the best play the best in sports, and I want to see the best fight the best in sports. If I think my fighter the one that I'm rocking with, then they got another fighter that's a bad motherfucker too. I want to see if my fighter the one that I like is gonna fucking win this fight because I think he better than the one that they saying is the bad.
And the thing is with me,
you understand?
And the thing is with me,
it's all competition,
right? And the thing is with me, right? Y'all seen me on here plenty of times, right? Be rooting for a fighter. Y'all see me. I was the first one that came on here and did a live and gave props to Tyson Fury, and everybody know how huge of a fan I am of Deontay Wilder. If Wilder lose, right, or Errol Spence lose, I'm gonna be like, God damn, fuck. But I'm gonna be glad for Terence Crawford. Like, man, you know, hey, I'm glad that we got to see the fight. Terence Crawford was the better man, and that's just what it is, you know.
We'll still support the fighter that lose because we won't get more of these fights, y'all, unless we support the fighters who lose better as well. So you understand, man? Y'all killing the legitimacy of the sport with that type of fandom. I ain't even gonna hold you or sugarcoat none of this shit. Every other sport give us the best opportunity to see the best fighters in the ring. Boxing don't have to because of fans like y'all who okay without seeing the best. So you understand, if y'all don't realize why you want to see the best or why it's purposeful for you to see the best two fighters in the ring, then shit, go ahead and check out some of them film watches I got up, and that'll give you something to love about this sport because there's too much going on inside that ring to not love the sport versus loving the fighter.
Right. Hey, if I'm okay today, surviving Roy Jones getting knocked out by Antonio Tarver, I'll be all right with anybody. Y'all could.
And I'm gonna tell you, the one that killed my heart was the Pernell Whitaker and
Roy got knocked out, but that shit hurt me, dog.
Man, when Pernell Whitaker ain't get the decision back with Chavez, I cried in the bed. I went in the room and cried. I ain't gonna I cried. Boy, my daddy came in there, yo, punk ass cried. I got half the mind to hit you myself. You ain't took man punch.
Hey, man, like I said, my days of being a fanatic is over.
Because Pernell clearly beat his ass.
Man, beat the shit out of Chavez, bro. Beat the shit out of his ass. Like I said, my days of being a fanatic was what it's been over. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I was a Roy Jones fanatic, but that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? But shit, hey, that I ain't gonna lie. I ain't finna sit here and lie to y'all, man. When motherfucking Roy got knocked out by Tarver, man, I remember. I didn't get to see the fight. I had to watch the fight on replay. So I'm working, and I'm on the computer doing my thing and shit. And it came across the computer, the news, man. And I try to act like I ain't see that shit. And I got home, and I tried to block it out of my mind like I didn't see that shit. And I watched it, and man, I was sick. Like, what? Roy got what? I couldn't believe that shit, bro.
Man, my daddy finally had his aha moment.
Yeah, man, that shit fucked me up. I was grown then. You shit. What was that? 2004.
Yep, that was 04.
2004. And you know, I was in my 20s and shit. I was in my 20s, but that shit, bro, I was hurt.
I was a sophomore in college. I'll never forget that shit, boy. My daddy called me talking so much shit. I told you, talent don't get you everywhere. Talent don't walk you everywhere, man. He talking cash. Well, I hung up. He called back. Man, I got one of them daddies too. He can't never be right. You got a friend that you just hope that he ain't right.
That was when boxing was real. Now you got all this. Oh man, it's the business of boxing, man, and man, he don't have to. But you know what I'm saying? Back then was when shit was still real. Shit was real. You know, it was still real back then. You feel me? And so it was a different day and age.
And one thing you gotta say though, you ain't gonna say Roy fucking duck not one motherfucker though.
Right.
You can't say that for sure. You ain't see Roy.
Hell nah. Roy went looking for the smoke.
Yes, that's the kind of fight you love.
Oh shit! Read this shit J.A. Dixon just put. Oh shit! Oh god damn!
What he said?
He done picked the fight, so he ain't gotta pay.
He said he said no lie. He said I lost 300 when Tarver slept Roy. He said, and I choked out my homie because he slapped my hat off my head and pushed me after I paid him. Oh shit! Dude was hype. He was hype about. Hey, you niggas. A lot of cats hated Roy Jones. I'm talking about Roy was hated. At that point, Roy was the most hated fighter in boxing at that time. That's what people don't talk about because all them same people that was talking shit about Roy, he worked with some of them. You know what I'm saying? They all kiss his ass now, but they all was hating on Roy back in the day.
What, man? I remember I got actual fights I was in talking about some watch me Roy Jones. I'm about to Roy Jones, y'all.
Yeah, man, I used to study. I used to do you see, I was doing film breakdown before OTB was because I was studying. I used to on VHS, I used to record all the Roy Jones fights, and I would study his fights for hours. Everything he did, I would study it. Yeah, man.
Hey, facts, and that'll put you in the matrix.
But man, I'm gonna tell y'all the fights. I'm gonna tell y'all the fights that I actually shed tears on. I shed tears when Tyson got KO'd by Buster Douglas. I cried. I shed tears, and then I shed tears when Holyfield lost to Riddick Bowe in that first fight. I ain't never been sicker than I was for a fight after them two fights.
Was only the Pernell Chavez.
Was I in elementary school? Yeah, I was in elementary school then when Mike Tyson fought
Buster Douglas.
I mean when Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas, yeah, I was in elementary school.
See, man, I'm from Ohio. So I'm from Ohio, so we had a whole different outlook when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. Man, we jumping around, goddamn it, the whole house explode. Like,
hell nah, bro. I was sick.
And I was in college. I was at a pool party in college, and people came up, and I was taping the shit in my dorm room, and I said, somebody came in, man, Mike Tyson lost. I said, man, y'all tripping. Mike Tyson ain't lose. And when I went back to my room and rewatched that shit, I said, damn, I couldn't believe that shit, man. You know, he wasn't living a fighter's lifestyle, though, bro. So that shit gonna catch up to you sooner or later.
I never forget that day. I'll never forget the day because my grandmama, she was keeping us and shit. And my grandmama was keeping us, and I remember she cooked some chicken that night, man. It's the first time she ever had cooked anything for us. Man, that chicken was good as hell. And man, I was ready. And yeah, Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, and I was sick. Like, I couldn't see that as a kid. I couldn't see nobody fucking with Tyson at that point in time. Man, but Holyfield,
until this day, that's the biggest upset in boxing.
But I always thought that Holyfield was the only one that could beat Tyson. Even at that time, I used to tell everybody, if Holyfield and Tyson, when they fight, Holyfield gonna beat him. But ain't nobody else can touch Tyson. Because Holyfield was my guy. Like, that was my dude. And Tyson was my dude too. But I just thought that Holyfield could beat him. What's happening with it, KQ?
See, my family in Georgia, boy, they get to talking about Holyfield, boy. They will put your ass out in the barn talking bad about Holyfield in Georgia. Man, what? You would be outside, sleep on the trampoline some damn where they don't care. Shit. For real. Yeah. So I always like Holyfield, man.
KQ neck got hurt. KQ neck got hurt after calling them fights, dog. I said KQ.
Oh yeah, man. KQ be calling the hell out them fights, dog.
Man, I'm talking about a classic fight call too, man. It's so rare that you could find a classic fight call like that. Man, he called it by the punch versus you can watch a telecast and they don't even give you that type of insight.
Man, I'm trying to think of another fight that just had me sick, man. I'm trying to think.
It was Whitaker Chavez for me, man. Boy, and my daddy let me stay up and watch that fight.
That Whitaker Chavez just had me mad, dog. Like, I was like, man, that's some bullshit. How they robbed that man. You know what else had me real mad is the second Frankie Randall in Chavez fight, because Frankie Randall beat him the second time too.
He damn sure did.
They robbed his ass.
Frankie Randall was connected, so they was gonna keep robbing his ass.
Man, Holyfield wasn't on no goddamn juice when he fought Mike Tyson. You
hell nah.
Holyfield, he got on that shit later on, like later in his career when he was damn near 50 trying to stay in the sport.
Yeah, but I don't think he was on no juice when he beat Tyson.
Hell,
I don't think that was the best Tyson either. So, yeah, I mean, as much as I can admit that.
You got to think, though, because a lot of people say that, though, that, Holyfield beat a washed up, that wasn't the best Tyson. Tyson was on the run. He was running through everybody at that point in time. He was destroying everybody he got in the ring with, right? Holyfield on the other side was older than Mike Tyson, a lot older than Mike Tyson. Holyfield was struggling at that point in time. Remember, he had been losing. He had got knocked out by Riddick Bowe, I believe. He had a real tough fight.
It was the adjustment to the heavyweight division.
Remember, he had barely beat Bobby Ches.
Yeah.
And everybody thought Holyfield was done. Everybody was like, man, ain't no Holyfield was a 32-1 underdog.
Yeah, it was
that
crazy.
That means that you had to put $3,200 on Mike Tyson to win $100.
$100.
That's how big of an underdog. I mean, that's how big of a favorite Tyson was. So, but me, I call my pops right now, and everybody thought I was crazy. I was saying Holyfield is going to beat him. I told everybody. It was like, man, Holyfield washed up. Ain't no way Holyfield gonna beat Mike Tyson, and he stopped him. And I wish that I was. I wish that I was 21 years old. I wasn't 21 back then yet. You know what I'm saying? I wish that I was old enough back then to have bet in Vegas, because I probably still would have been counting money right now.
Yeah, you damn sure would have. 32-1.
Yeah. Oh man, that's another fight that when Zab Judah lost to Costa Zoo. Oh man, I was sick about that one. Like, man, because Zab was my God. I couldn't believe that shit. I was mad.
I thought that shit was unreal.
I'm hollering at the motherfucker. Me and my pops was watching that shit. I get to hollering at the referee and shit. Yeah, I'm mad at the ref. Like, man, you knew he was good. Why you ain't let him go? He was good. Nigga, Zab didn't even know where he was.
I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the funniest knockouts in history right there, buddy. That shit was hilarious. That motherfucker was looking back, falling down, talking shit. At the same time, boy, that shit had me dying laughing.
Man, Coach, when I say
no idea where he was.
Man, when I say I just posted that on my shorts not that long ago, man, and I damn near ain't even want to post it, just looking at it. Like, damn, man, that was the homie.
Man.
Boy, that shit was funny as fuck. I don't care, homie or not. That shit was hilarious, boy. That nigga locked up. That nigga looked back talking shit and fell out again. I said, oh, boy.
Another one might surprise y'all is I ain't gonna lie. I was fucked up when Madonna beat up Adrian Broner. I was fucked up about that shit. I remember I had a big ass party to go to afterwards. I didn't even want to go to the party. I was fucked. I was mad as heck, man. I was sick. I said, man, I couldn't believe that Madonna beat the fuck out of AB like that.
Man,
back then, you couldn't tell me shit about AB.
You talking about losing money. I lost some shit on that fight. I'm talking about I lost some shit. I bet the whole house. I'm talking cash money shit. No, the Cincinnati, man, in the city, everybody want to see AB lose since he done bet somebody.
Yeah.
They just want to see Champ lose. I'm like, bet everybody. Man, they tore my ass up, boy.
Hey, man.
I think that was my last time betting on AB too.
Hey, man, AB came out that van and shit, nigga. That nigga AB was crunk too. Nigga went out there and man, he was
danced the whole way. I'm talking about
he came out dancing and shit out that van. That motherfucker left with his arm. They was walking and the jaw swollen, broken.
Hey, that nigga,
ambulance, boy.
Hey, that nigga left out there. That nigga came in dancing. That nigga left out like this.
You ain't lying, boy. Nigga beat that nigga beat. Boy, nigga from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. You heard me?
Hey, that nigga left out like he had got all his teeth pulled out in one whop. Oh shit.
You ain't lying, boy. That shit.
They had to help that nigga back to the motherfucking locker rooms.
And they had to walk him to the ambulance.
Hey, that way you know shit was real, dog. That nigga took a beating that night. Hey, after that nigga was like, nigga, fuck that. I ain't never, nigga, if I got a motherfucker hold a nigga legs and survive, nigga, I ain't never taking no beating like this again. For real.
He never should have been at 147. Should have never brought his ass to 147 trying to be like.
Hey, that nigga wanted to be Floyd so bad.
he could have dominated 135 for a long time, bro. Because when he was
at 135, hell yeah,
that nigga was in shape.
Or 42.
Rick Timms, you already know. I seen that Foreman versus Ron Lyle. Man, that shit was a war.
Yeah,
Ron Lyle could crack too.
And that was one of the fights that Bob paid off.
That's another one who messed his life up. He didn't want he being in the fucking streets. That's another one, Ronnie Lyles.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Boy.
That's one of them bribery payout, bribery black eyes in boxing.
Hey, y'all remember when Lennox Lewis fought Oliver McCall the second time, and Oliver McCall, I remember. I was watching the fight with my pops, and I said, "What's wrong with him?" I said, "Dad, what's wrong with him?" He said, "Man, that boy, he been smoking that crack." He said, "He had a breakdown." He said, he said he was high off of crack and had a breakdown.
You know, that used to be the old people answer to everything. Motherfuckers do question
like, boy,
you smoking that crack?
He put that crack down. Motherfucker was crackhead. Hey, that nigga got the crying in the corner and shit, dog.
Man, what Joe Clark saying and lean on me? You smoking crack, boy.
Hey, bro, why that nigga got the crying in the corner? That nigga turned his whole head.
Dog, the thing about it, he had beat him before. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro,
yeah, that nigga. And Lennox Lewis didn't know what to do. He like, what the fuck wrong with this nigga? This nigga got the crying and shit in the middle of the fight. You know, Oliver McCall had beat up Tyson in sparring.
Yeah, he fucked Tyson up in sparring. That's how he got the name.
Yeah, he was just a drug addict and shit. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't keep clean. That was his problem. He couldn't stay clean outside of the ring. A lot of them fighters that were coming up in the you know, the 90s, 80s and shit, they had that problem. That was the crack epidemic.
I'm gonna tell you a nigga who was big for nothing. This nigga was built like Tyson and fought like Jane against Tyson. Motherfucking Bruce Seldon. That motherfucking bitch ass
man.
dude, boy.
That big sorry ass.
Like a motherfucker too, boy. I'm like, look at this
he wasn't shit.
Hey, ain't that that's the night that Pac died, ain't it?
Yep. That's the night Pac died.
Yeah.
Bro, look at that clown. I said, man, look at this big.
See, Tyson was fighting a lot of them dudes. Tyson was fighting a lot of them motherfucking. They was gassed up and they wasn't good though. Like Bruce Seldon, motherfucking what's the dude from the UK, Frank Bruno, and he was fighting a lot of bums and shit.
Man, and Don King got sued for hyping all of their records up and shit.
Man, big Frank Bruno, big slow soft ass.
Bruce Seldon ain't.
Man, they took.
Hey, he tried though. The thing about Bruce Seldon is he was terrified, bro. He was terrified before he even got in the ring.
Yeah, that nigga Tyson is scared your ass. Tyson is scared the fuck out you. That nigga get to look, nigga.
Hey,
that nigga get to looking at you everywhere you go, and his eyes following everywhere you go.
Fuck that, bro. That motherfucker said, "I eat your kids." That scared the shit out of me. I remember being a kid looking at that shit like, "You will eat what, Daddy? What the fuck he talking about?"
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this though. Y'all can say what y'all want about Mitch Blood Green, but that motherfucker wasn't scared of Tyson. That motherfucker was throwing. They was throwing in that fight, bro.
Oh yeah, Mitch Green. You know, Mitch Green was he was a real street cat. He was a like one of the high ranked bloods in New York. Yeah. And Mitch Green, he was throwing him with Tyson. See, a lot of people never seen that fight. Mitch Green had that motherfucking Jerry. See, he fought Tyson before they fought in the streets. So Mitch Green and Mike Tyson had already fought in the ring.
Right.
And then Mitch Green felt some type of way about losing to Mike Tyson, so he tried to press him when they was at Dapper Dan's and shit that night at the club. He tried to press Tyson. He was trying to punk Tyson. Because he thought he could get with Tyson because he kind of got with Tyson in the ring. At that point in time, Mike was going through, he was just knocking out everybody. And Mitch Green was the only one that was really went to 10 rounds? It was 10 rounds.
Yeah, bro, them boys was mixing, bro. He was giving Tyson some good shots too, bro. That dude was letting them hands fly, bro. That was a good fight.
And he was tall.
Miss Green could fight. He just was caught up in the streets, so he was kind of a part-time boxer. You know what I'm saying? He was caught up in the streets and shit.
Pee Wee Kirkland
that nigga was throwing though. Them niggas was throwing in there. I was like, ooh, yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, boy.
That's the one that said Mike Tyson sucker punched him or some shit.
Yeah, that's the one that said Mike Tyson sucker punched him.
Man, Mike Tyson ain't sucker punching. Mike Tyson told, from me hearing the story that Tyson told, he said Miss Green kept running up on him and pressing him, and yeah. But Mike Tyson ain't had no business being where he was at that point in time.
Yeah, he was too big.
All that money you got, and you Mike Tyson, you the heavyweight champion of the world. Back then, the heavyweight champion of the world was the most famous athlete in the world. People don't understand. It ain't like today. Back then, the heavyweight champion of the world with boxing back then was bigger than football and basketball and all of that. Boxing was the sport back then.
Hell yeah.
So that's like LeBron James. That's like LeBron James in the hood at 3, 4 in the morning in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that club in the hood when you know shit gonna pop off. That's like LeBron James in there. You ain't finna see LeBron James nowhere near a place like that.
Man,
yeah, but it was in the daytime, and it was at Dapper Dan's. Him and Dan.
Nah, it was at like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it was at nighttime.
Yeah, Dapper Dan's is a clothing store.
But I think it was like a club spot.
It was a club first.
Yeah, it was a club.
It was a club first.
Yes, it was, Coach. It was a club. They was in the club.
Listen, young niggas. I done been a Dapper Dan's. Y'all gonna stop that? Nah, y'all young niggas don't know what y'all talking about. I'm telling you right now, it's a clothing store.
I know it's a clothing store from what I've seen.
It's a clothing store. I know what Dapper Dan's got all the designer clothes. We know that, but I'm saying. It's a clothing store, but it was a club spot at that point in time. They was using it as a club spot, like an after hour spot.
Because you hear too many of the famous people talk about nights when they was there. Like I listened to the Alpo documentary, and he talk a lot about being at Dapper Dan's late night.
Yeah, that's the spot that they used to be at, like late night. You know what I'm saying? Shooting the shit, rolling dice, all that shit.
And what I just thought about
it was a clothing store, but they used to. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was a spot that they used to. I ain't gonna say it was a club. It's like late night. That's where all the, you know what I'm saying, all the hood niggas, all the D boys, everybody would go. And that was a spot.
And if y'all ain't never been to Harlem, boy, go to Harlem late night, and you will see why it can be a clothing store, a club, and just an outside spot. You understand?
It's different now, though, OTB. It's different now, bro. Like,
is it? See, I ain't been to Harlem since like 2014.
Oh man,
yeah, I ain't been since then.
Now, bro.
Yeah, it's much different.
Damn. That's crazy. But y'all just think, though, if Don King was taking 83% of all of their money and Mike was still filthy rich, you understand? If y'all don't understand how big it was to be the heavyweight champ of the world, like, man, he was still a 100 millionaire, you understand? And with Don even taking all of that damn money. So it definitely was more money within the sport then than it is now.
The worst thing ever happened to Tyson, the worst thing ever happened to him, and it wasn't even in the ring, him losing. The worst thing happened to him, because he wouldn't have, his path wouldn't have went the way it went, was when Cuss died. That messed him up. When Cuss died, and he got with Don King, and he left Shelly Finkel and all of them, bro. That shit killed him. And then what made it even worse, you got rid of Kevin Rooney, bro. That's where you really screwed up. You got rid of Kevin Rooney because Kevin Rooney had to cuss them out of the way, and he was training them like Cuss trained them, but Tyson would get mad at him and get, because he wanted him to do like Cuss had him doing. And it got to a point, man, you got to understand, that's a hard style to continue into longevity, to fight like Tyson fought. When he was young, his fucking head movement, his legs, all of that shit, bro, that was a hard ass way to box, bro. That's a hard way to box. And as you get older, right, it's even harder to sustain that. Because I remember his hands and his feet, you know, he would keep that perpetual motion with his head. I done seen him squat all the way down, dude swinging over his head. Man, that's hard to maintain that style as you get older, because it takes a lot of energy to do what Tyson.
You remember, y'all remember Ike Beabucci? He had
was
that
a man,
style.
buddy.
Yeah.
Ike Beabucci, he was a bad motherfucker, but you know, he like a serial rapist or some shit.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. That motherfucker right there, who you just named, Keon, I'm gonna tell you right now, partner, he would have fucking became undisputed. That was a bad motherfucker.
Ike was bad.
Bro, that dude could fucking fight, and that dude could hit hard, and that motherfucker was strong. Oh my God, bro. That dude
beat up, bro, man. Remember when Ike when Ike and what's his name fought? Huh? When Ike and
I thought he killed him.
Oh yeah. When he fought Chris Bird, but I'm talking about
Chris Bird.
I'm talking about when he fought what's the other the New Zealand huh?
Yeah, he fought David Tua.
David Tua, man. That man, y'all go back and watch Ike Beabucci versus David Tua, man. That's a hell of a fight.
That's a whole brawl.
Hell of a fight.
Boy, Ike Beabucci was a bad mother. Bro, when he hit Chris Bird, bro, and knocked him out, I thought he had knocked his head off. I thought he broke his neck, bro. That's how hard he punched Chris Bird.
And the thing is he looked like Tyson too.
Chris Bird went to sleep.
Ike Beabucci.
He had that point down the middle of his head, remember?
Yeah. He looked like Tyson. He fought like Tyson.
He was bigger than Tyson. He was bigger than Tyson.
Yeah, he's bigger than Tyson. He went to prison for like 20-some years and he got out, and I think he went back in.
Yeah, he did for the same shit.
For the same shit.
Bro,
that's crazy.
Bro, that dude right there, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I didn't see nobody beating him, including Lennox Lewis. I thought that Ike Beabucci was gonna be, bro. I was high on this dude, like, especially when I saw him. He fucking damn near knocked Chris Bird head off, but when I saw him against Tua, who was also a bad motherfucker, and that motherfucker was putting it on Tua ass, I said, ooh, this motherfucker here is the real deal. And he was big, he was strong. Bro, that motherfucker could fight, son. I don't know if all these people that's on this chat, y'all go look at that motherfucker. That was a bad motherfucker. And fuck this career off with this fucking getting in trouble and going to prison.
Hey, John Kramer, I'm finna say the same shit. Ike Beabucci and Mystico, same dudes. They the same.
They gotta take this. Niggas crazy. Just gotta take some shit.
Dude in the NFL, what's his name? That played with the Saints.
Roman Hoff.
No.
Derek, what's his name? Went to
Darren Sharper.
Yeah, Darren Sharper.
Same shit, bro. I'm like, ain't bad looking dude neither. How you rape over 20-some women and you giving them roofies when they gonna give you the pussy for free? They gonna give you the pussy anyway.
Man, that nigga is that motherfucker. He probably a necrophiliac, want them bitches to be dead when he fuck them. Bro.
That's the weird shit.
Yeah, that shit's sick. Yeah, I mean, you don't even care about no reaction that you get. Like, you don't even want a reaction, bro. You.
And even women used to love Darren Sharper. Ooh, he's so handsome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bro, I'm like, man. And this nigga
did. Darren Sharper made it cool to wear gray hair.
Giving roofies to all these women.
Because he had gray hair since he was 25. That motherfucker was at University of Miami with gray hair and shit.
Hey, J.A. Dixon, Kevin Winslow too. Kevin Winslow, he was raping old ass women.
Facts.
Like it's just something wrong with these dudes. Sick. You remember Kellen Winslow Jr.? He was another one.
Yeah, and a hell of a talent.
He from the U2 from Miami.
Yeah. Kellen Winslow. His daddy was bad. His daddy played for the Chargers, and he played.
Yes, sir.
Carried Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts wasn't shit without Kellen Winslow singing.
So that shit crazy, man. Mystico. Mystical, man. Mystical raping all these women, right? And he was the biggest star at one point. Remember, Mystical was huge. He was big at one point.
Man, what? Shake it fast. Man, that shit come on. All our mamas fucking Mystical shit.
All the women wanted to fuck with Mystical.
All the women going to fuck with Mystical.
Hey,
man.
all the women wanted to fuck with him. How you got all these rape charges? All the women want to fuck with you.
You can't help it. You just got to take to some shit.
Thing about it is, Michael Tyler was in the military with my cousin, right? And he used to be telling him, "Oh, when I get out, when we rapping this and that, and all of this shit." You know, he was in the military. Man, I'm saying to myself, he done got himself in trouble. Like, I remember his underground shit. You know, I was in college when his underground shit came out. And I'm like, man, and we used to go to this club called Strawberries.
You talking about Mystical?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Mystical was in the military before his music career.
That's what I told you. He was in the military with my cousin.
Okay. Yeah.
They went overseas, Desert Storm and shit together. And man, this nigga done got himself in trouble with the same charge, bro. How you get the same fucking charge, bro? That's not something you ain't gotta do. That shit.
Man,
crazy.
tricking is an epidemic within our culture, and you taking some shit.
And not only that, bro, your sister got killed by her boyfriend.
Yeah, because he got a song about that shit on his first album.
Yep. You
Damn,
know,
Coach just took me back.
Hey, that Minds of Mystical, that was my shit.
Yeah, that's when he was beefing with Brother Lynch, huh? Him and Brother Lynch was on each other's ass.
Man, Minds of Mystical, that shit was that's a classic album.
Yeah, UNLV. It was, but that's all them dudes from the city. You would see them around all the time. But it's like, bro, your sister got killed by her boyfriend, and you doing shit like this, bro. Like, what the fuck? And he the one found the girl body. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, how can you do that shit? And he don't come from that type of family. That's the thing that get me. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that shit I'm like, bro, you done got in trouble again for the same charge.
And what's crazy, Coach, is every time I hear who is that? Offset from the Migos, I hear Mystical.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Offset, I'm like, shit, that's Mystical whole style.
Hey, Mystical is a bad motherfucker. I know you niggas can't fuck with me because I can't fuck with my damn self.
You did.
Mystical hit the dude.
Still
Y'all niggas ain't
smoking.
ready yet.
That dude
Sport in my hotel, spent the whole day getting loaded. Nothing but smokers in the smoke. Put my towel up under the dope.
See, I was like, my favorite is that Minds of Mystical, that first Mystical. That shit, man.
Yeah, he was snapping on there.
That nigga was going
Bad like Michael. I steady rhyming, I steady flow.
That's my shit. Yeah. That's that. I'm out that boot camp click. I got my rifle and my left.
Yeah.
Mystical used to be going in for real.
That's when Mystical was Mr. Cal.
These young cats, they don't know nothing about that Mystical.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the one. The one that was gonna be the one come out of New Orleans. That nigga was gonna beat the one, son. Mm-hmm. When Soldier got killed.
Oh, Soldier Slim, man. Soldier Slim. Come, you can't tell me nothing about Soldier Slim.
Man, I'm talking about. I remember the day Soldier Slim dropped. Man, I'm all the way in Ohio, y'all.
What y'all know about that? You not invited to my smoke out. So you might as well get the fuck out.
Fuck out. What? It's hard to maintain the soldier life mentality.
It could be a tragedy. The white folks come and hassle me down and wrestle me. Yes, you put on handcuffs. It charged me with
resistance when they told me to put my hands up. They was talking about this, man. Slim was talking about this shit.
Real. He was talking about that shit when nobody else talking about that shit.
Hell no. That's when music was music.
Hey, there is the law that my jacket consists of murderers, robbers, that shit. That's my shit. That's my favorite song. Man, my jacket consists of.
Joel, you said strawberries is by your house? You must live in Lafayette then, boy. Go ahead. Yeah. I used to go there in college, and after 12, you bring your own your BYOB. So you go into the club with a party ball. We used to have party balls and all kind of liquor and shit going into the bar. That was an after-hours joint. Boy, that was the spot right there. Man, but like Soldier, dog, Soldier was about to be, that was our Tupac, dog, for real. That dude was cold.
And he was along the same lines. I ain't gonna hold you, man. When you talk about the authenticity, plus you could tell, you know what I mean? Just you could tell it was effortless for him. You know what I mean? You could tell Soulja Slim wasn't sitting down writing though, man. He was going in there giving you what was on his heart, what was on his mind, what he had seen. And for somebody coming all the way from Ohio, he definitely gave us a perspective.
Yeah, give it to him raw. That Soulja Slim, give it to him raw. That shit was cold too.
Man, that shut the studio though.
Coming up right now though, he ain't from my city, but he from the Bay Area. Bro, I don't know if y'all done seen this little dude, bro. But that little dude, Simba, that little dude is cold, son.
I ain't heard of him. You gonna have to send me some.
Nah, you can go and watch him. He freestyled on Sway. He freestyled on the LA Lakers. He freestyled on, bro. This little dude is the real deal, son. He nice. He is nice. His name's Simba, SYMBA. That little dude is gonna blow, son. He gonna blow big too. Yeah, bro. He the real deal, bro. Real.
Yeah, you already know, John Kramer. That's my jacket. That's my shit right there. In Soldier Life mentality, that whole give it to him raw. But people sleep on that.
That was a classic.
Man, Soulja Slim used to stay in my shit.
That was a classic. That was a classic. I'm talking about you can just let that roll.
You know, Soulja Slim got a son that sound kind of just like him.
Yeah, I saw him.
If you but you know what? If you listen to some of NBA YoungBoy shit, because my nephews, right, they was listening to NBA YoungBoy one day, and I said, you know what? I said, this nigga y'all listen to, I said he sound just like Soulja Slim. A lot of NBA YoungBoy old shit. No, his old shit. And so I let my nephews like, who is Soulja Slim? I ain't never heard of him. I said, let me let y'all hear. And they was like, damn, he do sound like him. I said, yeah, that's Soulja Slim y'all hear. But, you know, he didn't change his style up now, but NBA YoungBoy old shit sound, a lot of his old stuff sound just like Soulja Slim.
And you'll hear a lot of that shit in Kevin Gates, too.
Yeah, but Gates got his own style, though. Gates, I remember when Gates was underground, when he first came out of VR. Shit, I remember when he started. But I ain't gonna lie, my boy, I ain't gonna lie. I fucking love Lil Boosie though, dog. That little nigga can rap, boy.
Yeah, Lil Boosie, that's cold, my Lil Boosie, man. Lil Boosie go. I've been listening to Lil Boosie ever since he was young.
Now, you know my favorite song from Boosie?
What's that?
Back in the day when I was a little boy. I like that one, boy. That's
Man, I made the mistake of being in New Orleans telling them I had never heard Boosie. When I say I was there for 5 days, man, they made me listen to every Boosie mixtape. Man, by the time I left, I ain't want to hear that shit for the next month.
Yeah, the nigga can rap too. He cold.
Boosie, man.
Boosie
old shit though, man. Boosie old shit hit different though.
Yeah, it do.
What you mean you ain't hit the Boosie? Man, never heard of no Boosie, bro. I'm from Ohio.
y'all hadn't heard of Boosie in Ohio? For real?
Man, you had to be nah.
Hey, but he was with a small record label.
Coach,
you had to really be connected to down there.
Coach, what you knew about Trey 8?
Come on, man.
Yeah. See, niggas don't know about Trey 8.
Come on, man.
I don't know nothing about him.
Come on, man. Bro, the shit they got now, bro. You got a few guys that's on that level, but bro, you like most of the shit now, bro. They got the same cadence, They got the same, like the young boy, all that shit is the same cadence, the same everything. And 9 out of 10 times I get tired of hearing a nigga talking about themselves. For real.
Man,
like
fucking some hoes.
Or fucking hoes. I got jewelry and all of this shit, dog. That shit is I like rappers that tell stories. That's my biggest thing.
But see, rap didn't change. These niggas is wearing purses and shit like Tank.
Yeah, this shit.
These niggas walking around. I'm telling y'all, like, ain't nobody said that about Tank Davis, but I'ma say it. Every time I look up, this nigga buying a fucking brand new purse for himself.
For himself.
Bro, that nigga was dancing
like, what part of the game is that? When did grown men start buying purses for themselves? That shit just ain't normal to me. Some things is made for women.
Bro, when that nigga
trying to be like AB.
When he was dancing in front of that camera with his drawers on or whatever, I said, brother, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga look kind of sugary right there, but he look a little sweet to me. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you doing, Tank? I said,
when did it become normal for men to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars on purses for themselves?
And then they gotta go and name them some shit like it's a man purse. No, goddammit, man and purse don't even fucking go together.
Nigga, that's a purse.
Weird ass niggas gonna try and justify this shit. Oh, it's a man purse. Shut your punk ass up.
These niggas got
man and purse don't go together. Ain't your mama tell you
you don't touch a purse? Booty shorts. These niggas got booty shorts and purses on. What the fuck wrong with these niggas nowadays? Man?
Shit weird, man.
I can't. Hey, and don't nobody want to say nothing about it.
Yeah, everybody just act like they don't see it. Yeah, he a bad motherfucker in the ring.
That's a bad motherfucker. That's my nigga right there. But you ain't gonna say nothing about the booty shorts on in the purse.
Man, Russell Westbrook ass too. He starting to piss me off. Every time I see Russell, he got on some weird shit. Man, quit doing this weird shit, man. It make me disrespect your talent.
Right, bro. Niggas, hey, my nigga Darius Galar said these niggas cross dressers.
Man.
Yep.
You can't even say they cross dressers, bro, because they don't never come back. It ain't like we see one of these niggas in a mask. I mean, in a regular outfit. We keep seeing they ass repetitively.
I said that shit with Cam Newton. I'd be like, what the fuck is you wearing?
Yeah,
man.
Cam Newton too.
They scared Cam.
Yeah, bro.
Once Cam went to that Super Bowl against Peyton Manning, shit.
That's one thing I knew. You would never see me walking around with some booty shorts and a goddamn motherfucking purse.
Dog, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Them motherfucking skinny ass jeans, that shit weird to me.
Yeah.
That might not be weird to y'all, but that shit weird to me.
Man,
I wear my shit fitted. I wear mine fitted. I don't wear them motherfucking spandex joints. Them motherfuckers be had like AB and all them niggas be having them spandex on and shit.
And AB, he got a muffin top now, so that shit don't even look right.
AB be clean sometime though. I ain't gonna lie. AB be clean sometime though.
Hold on though, because I gotta address some shit for the sake of my city. They already call Cincinnati the Queen City. We don't need you posting videos talking about your ass, nigga. What type of weird shit? We gotta quit this shit. Then y'all wonder why they look at our city. Everybody else in Ohio look down on this motherfucker. They don't fuck with us for shit like that. Quit doing that weird shit.
Right. Hey,
and they all in the video. Look at his ass. His ass is gone.
Man. Kirk McCall said, y'all used to wear tight jeans. Y'all gotta stop. Hey, he ain't lying either, because I seen my pops and them. You go back to the 80s and shit. Y'all had tight jeans on. Y'all had them motherfucking tight ass jeans on.
Nigga, we wore motherfucking jabots and shit like that, nigga. We ain't wear that X-cut jabots, nigga. That's all I wore. I ain't
but see, you wouldn't. I'm talking about in the 80s and 70s and shit. They wore them tight ass jeans.
Nigga, I was in the fucking
butterfly collars and shit with their little chest hair showing and they butterfly collar. Beady ass chest hairs.
Hey, but AB be clean. I ain't gonna lie, AB be clean, but Tank be having some weird shit on. That nigga be having motherfucking chains and spikes with a dress, with a goddamn with a goddamn purse on hanging down on the side.
And he paint his fingernails black and all.
Nigga paint his fingernails.
Open toe shine cletas on. You got on open toes.
I don't know if that nigga want to be Merlin Manson or motherfucking Tony Hawk. I don't know what the fuck that nigga want to be. Like, God damn, dog.
This nigga show up to the fight in open toes and shit.
That nigga don't know if he want to be Merlin Manson or Tony Hawk. Or, God damn.
Fuck you, find some open toe men sandals at. Quit wearing this goofy shit, man.
I said, man, this nigga Tank, bro, he gotta be able to fight with the shit. Hey, that's how you know it, nigga. If you see a nigga that dressed like Tank, you know he gotta be able to fight. For real, because they gonna joan the shit out of him coming around some shit like that if he can't fight.
Man, we don't give a fuck how much you can fight. We gonna talk about your ass from the line of the club till that motherfucker let out. We gonna roast your ass all night. Here he drink, I drink. Goddamn it, I'm gonna come up with another cap for your goofy looking ass.
This nigga, your boy Devin then dyed his motherfucking hair bleach blonde and shit.
Remember he was wearing a skirt for a long time?
Yeah, that shit crazy, dog. I'm just, man, I don't know, bro. These fucking kids nowadays confused, bro. They think everything is all right. That's that. You just, let people live and this and that. Bro, I'm like, man, come on.
Hey, bro, I ain't wearing no goddamn motherfucking open-toe Jesus sandals. Fuck all that. Hey, my girl better not buy me none of them shits. They ain't gonna get worn.
You just made me spit everything I had in my mouth out, Keith.
Open-toe Jesus sandals with the big ass straps across the joint, with the Velcro straps across. Nah, I ain't doing it, bro.
Man, your toenails sticking out in between the two straps and shit, man.
Hey, boy, Mr. Mechanical said Devin looking like Cisco from Drew Hill and shit. Oh shit! All caramel head ass nigga.
Hey, that nigga can sing though. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga used to sing his ass off though.
Oh man, Drew Hill.
Man, this nigga make a video about thongs. He running past all the booties in the video. We knew you was fucked up then.
That's that first Drew Hill album. If y'all ever heard that first Drew Hill album, that's that shit.
Yeah.
That first one.
That's the one with Beauty Is Her Name on there. That's that shit.
Yeah, that first Drew Hill album was my shit back in the day.
That's because Babyface was writing all of that shit. They couldn't fail.
Hey, I had a nigga that, man, he be on here too. I ain't gonna name his name, but he be in the chat. I had a nigga I went to school with. He thought he was Cisco and shit. That nigga used to come to school
Shut
and
the
shit.
Fuck up, Keith.
That nigga used to dye his hair blonde. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga used to dye his hair blonde and shit in high school. That nigga used to dye his hair blonde.
Man, that's a tough.
He come to school. He used to keep a towel because he permed this shit so it should be real straight. He had his shit dyed blonde. He used to keep a towel and keep the towel wet and be brushing down on his head with the towel and shit so it stay straight. Oh shit! Oh man. My nigga, hey, we was dressing out in PE. This nigga gonna dress out. This nigga had a thong on and shit, dog. Nigga, we ran out that motherfucking locker room, dog. We was dying. We said this nigga got a motherfucking thong on. Goddamn fucking Speedo fucking.
This nigga had on some silk Speedos. Everybody had that nigga in the locker room.
Nigga had fucking Speedo thong drawers on. Shit, this nigga, bro. Oh shit. Oh man.
Man, yeah, stupid, bro.
Hey man, we man. I'm getting ready to wrap it up, man. Y'all hit the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button. We in here kicking the shit.
Y'all young motherfuckers needed to hear this shit.
Some of y'all need to hear this shit because some of y'all right now, y'all got a motherfucking purse. You got a purse and you threw that shit to the side and you're sitting around in some goddamn booty shorts.
And some of you old niggas walking around with Michael Jackson jackets. Put that shit up. Leave that shit to these young niggas. I see one more 40-year-old man walking around in a Michael Jackson jacket. I'm smacking the shit out of you myself.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Different time, boy. I be looking at some of these kids, bro. I be like, man, what the fuck is going on in this world, bro? Where's they get this shit from?
Man, then, coach, we look at the old niggas and they walking around in skinny jeans. This shit too. You 40 years old in skinny jeans. Sit your fat ass down.
Yeah, you got some
you diabetic motherfucker.
Yeah, fat nigga in some spandex jeans and shit. Yeah, bro, that shit. Yeah,
bro, that shit
motherfucker.
Crazy.
This shit killing our culture, man.
My nuts need to breathe, cuz I can't do it.
Man, let me get y'all last words.
Everything just turning into.
Let me get y'all last words before we get up out of here, Coach. Man, let me get your last words, Coach.
Hey man, y'all go sub to Glove Up Boxing, bro. It's always a pleasure to talk shit to y'all.
Hold up.
I know I'm in a bad area right now. I'm in this car, and shit, we here now, but.
Yeah, you just drive safe, Coach.
We had a long little ride, so.
Yes, sir, man.
Let y'all, man. Y'all brothers stay up, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you,
bro.
Coach. OTB, man, let me get your last words.
Man, it's always a pleasure, big bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciated the roasting session where we could zone out from boxing. I ain't gonna get over this Cisco nigga you went to school with, though.
Hey, you probably gonna hear this shit too. Hey, we used to zone the hell out that nigga. We still don't let that shit go.
Man,
every
it
time
was
I
the
talk
wet
to that
in the
nigga, I'm
hair.
joning him. I'm joning that nigga every time I talk to him, man.
But yeah, man, y'all get the OTB boxing school, man. We working, man. We approaching 1,000. We had like 850. So, yeah, I mean, we 150 away from getting there. And yeah, I mean, the proof in the pudding, we eclipsed the 100,000 views. So I appreciate y'all. We done finally hit 100,000, less than 100 videos, might I add. So the content definitely, yeah, I mean, speak for itself. But make sure y'all tap in with us, big bro. I appreciate you. You understand? Always, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for those who want to know, I did have some spandex way back in the 80s and shit. I remember in
shut the fuck up.
Hey, in kindergarten, I had my favorite motherfucking pair of spandex, man. I had some checkered spandex. Yeah.
Send us that picture, man.
And we used to call it pouches back then. See, y'all call them fanny packs and shit. Back in the 80s, we call them pouches. I had some spandex with a motherfucking pouch. Yeah, but it ain't happening no more. You ain't gonna catch me in no motherfucking spandex now. But yeah, man. yeah, them MC Hammer joints. Hey, but man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all hit the like button, and y'all already know what it is. There you go, talking that boxing again, and we gone. Oh, shit.